notes. Welcome to the Dr. Greg Show, October 24th, 2025. This is the first day of the rest of this movement. And something happened last night that I think was going to be big. I've always been frustrated watching online communities not being able to organize and actually bring real change. And I was really motivated by the Nepal Gen Z Discord organizations, that way of political organizing. And I've always thought that these platforms of videos and these communities, right? These online communities of live shows are never utilized properly. That we could be doing so much more. No, this is the new Hassan Piker, bro. We actually do political action here. That's the difference. I am launching a political action group for the stream. And what we are going to be doing is counter-organizing around these MAHA anti-vaccine bills that have been proposed. We read a AP article last night, and there are over 400 anti-science bills that are being proposed throughout the country. Over 400. And not a single organization, not a single community, not a single advocate fighting this fight. Until now, until us. So what we're going to do is we are going to use this platform in order to reach out to these states, contacting these lawmakers, filling these city halls, filling their inboxes, their emails. We're going to be calling. We're going to be infiltrating the MAHA groups, their organizations. We will be everywhere. And it starts tonight. Last night we identified it. And tonight we launch the first major movement, the first target. I know, exactly. They are. And that's what we're going to do tonight. So we are, we're going to have people joining their public forums, and we're going to try to get as much information about these MAHA groups. We've identified 4 or 5, and we are going to be joining them, try to figure out as much information about them as we can. At the same time, counter-organizing around the state houses. And that's what's going to happen. So that's what's going to happen, guys. MAHA is the RFK's anti-vaccine groups. And we need to count that they've basically been pushed because of okay, dude, next time you're just banned. There's been a push buy these. No, it's okay. Everything's out and open and it's all there. We're fully transparent. We're joining their public forums. We're joining their public groups. They have public, public forums. We're going to join the public forums. There's nothing wrong with that. It's completely legal. But we are going to be everywhere. There's over 30 people that joined the Discord last night. We have set up Discord channels. And this is where it's going to... So weird, dude. Yeah, it's there. It's a completely legal... If it's a... Yeah, it's totally fine. Okay. So, the first thing that's going to happen, I've analyzed the 400... These are the vaccines that we've gotten. Our community, when they get a vaccine, someone gets a vaccine in our community, they come here, they tell me they got vaccinated, and then we add it to the counter. So, yeah, that's what we do. We celebrate vaccines here. Vaccines are safe and effective, and it's good to... Like, it's so funny. It's good. Vaccines are good. They're safe and effective, and they're important. So we have identified the first target, New Hampshire, because New Hampshire just has a bill that was just passed through the lower houses that will be... Yeah, you're about like 30 seconds from just getting banned. So, no, he's not telling people to get... He's saying that nice, Brittany. Huge. Okay, so basically they are trying to repeal the New Hampshire vaccine program that gives children free vaccines. So they're trying to repeal and remove that program right now. And it's honestly like a dozen other anti-vaccine bills. I'll be honest with you guys. I went through the 400 bills that they are proposing, and it is way worse than anything that you could honestly imagine. It was honestly unbelievable. This isn't just anything about the state legislator of these states. Yes. They are trying to not only repeal COVID mandates, they're trying to repeal gene therapies. So gene therapy as a treatment for cancers, for personalized cancer drugs, they're trying to repeal that as if that's bad. They're trying to remove any type of quarantine procedures. So if you have, like in South Carolina, like we were covering, how they were being insanely successful with stopping the spread of measles by quarantining people that were in contact with positive cases. They're trying to repeal quarantine laws. They're trying to stop epidemiologists from contact tracing. I cannot believe it. Like, we're talking about the most absurd anti-public health bills that you can ask the Republican parties and the state legislators. This is all bills, over 400 anti-science bills that are being trying to be passed, that are being introduced in the state houses across the country. So this is not just in some random states, guys. This is every single state minus like 2. So it's way worse than you could ever imagine. And it's unbelievable. So we're tracking the anti-vaccine ones. There's the AP recognized 423. A lot of them are for milk, raw milk. They're for fluoride in the water. but we are going to target the vaccines. So we're going to target state houses that are trying to pass anti-vaccine medical freedom bills. They're trying to remove what's actually triggering me genuinely is that no, we do not over-vaccinate. What's triggering me is that Florida the introduction of these bills in Florida, the idea that they will be removing vaccine mandates in Florida was enough to cause a huge stir. Everyone, dude, this is so weird. The Florida bills that they were proposing was enough to cause a huge stir in the media. But for some reason, Idaho actually passing the legislation was okay. In Nebraska, they passed the same thing. So these guys are passing the legislation that Florida just proposed, and somehow these state bills are completely flying under the radar. Nobody is talking about them. None of them are being highlighted. It's crazy. It's actually triggering. There is more media coverage about Jimmy Kimmel than anything. It's just unbelievable. So anyway, guys. So yes, so in the Discord, guys, if you join the Discord, that's where we are politically organizing now. That is what the Catalyst Network is. We are catalysts for change. This is what we are doing. This is how we are organizing. Join the Discord. Linktree has a invite link in there. Action alerts. So there is a public hearing. If you are in the New Hampshire area, there is a public hearing October 29th. If you are in the capital or near the capital of New Hampshire, I beg you, please go. It's at 10:10 a.m. in GP 159. It's the room of the State House. But they are trying to repeal the vaccine programs. The New Hampshire Vaccine Association, which is a program that provides free vaccines to children. So this is what we're doing. We are organizing to, and I looked into the state senators, so it's already passed the lower house. It's passed the lower house, so we need to target the state Senate, and that is our goal. So right now, this is what we're going to do. These are the so if you join the Discord, I'm going to have this every day. We're going to have people that we are contacting with phone numbers, emails, and why they're the potential swing voters that's going to be there. So this is in regards to HB 524. We're contacting them in regards to this. We'll have a script that you can read. We're going to have an email script. It's in my my link tree in my bio. HB 524. Yeah. And these are going to be the potential swing voters that we're trying to contact. I don't think I don't. We need people to show up to these town halls. So that's the biggest thing. That is the biggest thing. So I'm going to put out information. I'm going to put out like a daily, like this is what we are going to do. And that is how we will organize. So this is the first one. We are calling these people tomorrow, I guess, since it's a night show. We're going to call these people, leave them an email, contact the chair, and try to counter organize these people. The thing is the vaccine sign is the amount of vaccines that we have gotten. So this is our community's vaccine count. So people come in here and they get vaccinated and we celebrate their vaccines. So that's what we do. Yeah. But this is a larger advocacy thing where we're not just doing our own vaccinations. We're making an impact positively through our community, through vaccinations. But now we are organizing politically to try to stop these bills from that are happening. And just to give you a scale of what's happening and to understand what is going on, this is what's going on. This is what's going on, guys.
The first true health freedom, medical freedom bill in the nation. It's literally landmark. It is changing everything.
In April, Idaho passed the Medical Freedom Act, the first law in the U.S. that bans vaccine requirements and any other form of mandatory medical intervention in businesses, schools, daycares, most workplaces, as well as state and local governments.
That's a lot of the bills, guys. A lot of the bills that they are trying to ban are any type of mandate. So not just COVID mandates, not just, but they're talking about all types of vaccines. They're talking about the ability to quarantine. They're trying to stop quarantines from being a thing, that you can actually even be quarantined. They're trying to stop daycare workers from getting having to prove that they're vaccinated. So you're going to have unvaccinated people hosting unvaccinated children. Vaccines are absolutely necessary. So they are completely removing all different types of anything to do with vaccines. And it's public health in general. It's not just vaccines, guys. We're talking about public health in general. Because even if you're anti-vaccines, okay, I'd hope that even the anti-vaxxers would agree that if you are sick with a communicable disease, you would stay home, right? If you are sick and going someplace with something that could kill someone, you don't go into that place, right? You quarantine yourself when you're sick. If you have the measles, for example, you wouldn't go to a crowded area with that. If you had polio and you knew that you had polio, you wouldn't go to where other people are, right? That would be insanely selfish and causing so much harm. But that is what they're trying to do. They're trying to remove quarantines from public health workers, that public health workers can use quarantines as a tool.
And this comes at a time when diseases eradicated from the U.S. through vaccination are making a comeback. In South Carolina, schools quarantined 150 unvaccinated children after a measles outbreak.
We saw that. We saw how successful that quarantine was. They were capable of stymieing the spread of measles because they did that. Right? That it's imperative that contact tracing is a thing, and quarantines is a tool. You have to be able to do that. But they're trying to remove that in these state houses.
A public health official said that kids could spread the virus to others without being obviously sick. And according to South Carolina's health department, at least 5 students started showing symptoms, but the quarantine kept them from spreading it. That kind of response is now illegal in Idaho.
Exactly.
The woman behind the bill, that's Leslie Manookian. She's the founder of Health Freedom Defense Fund. Idaho Governor Brad Little signed that bill in April, and now Manookian and her allies want to make Idaho's law the national standard. Weeks after the bill signing, Manookian took to the stage in D.C. at a launch event for the MAHA Institute, a group with ties to Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
We're going to roll that out to other states, and we're going to make America free again.
It's insane, guys. They're trying to remove quarantines. They're trying to remove public health. This isn't just a vaccine thing. They are trying to attack people. Removing the freedom that you have to go to a party, a concert, a football game. They're trying to bring back the 30 different viruses and diseases and pathogens that hurt people.
And in July, RFK Jr. celebrated in Boise, calling Idaho
the home of medical freedom, the home of good health, that has a commitment like no other state, making its population healthy again.
Manookian's group is now sharing model bills and a how-to guide with talking points to persuade lawmakers across the country. In fact, the day that Idaho's Medical Freedom Act was signed into law, Louisiana introduced the Louisiana Medical Freedom Act. And in
It's
September,
happening. This is like the ALEC. This is like the Allied Legislative Exchange Committee, where now they've gotten these Medical Freedom Bills Act, and now they just carbon copy from one state house to the other state house to the other state house. They've gotten something passed, and they know that there is a pathway that this thing can actually pass, and they know that this makes Trump happy, RFK happy, so they want to be in their good graces. They're trying to buy servitude, and they're trying to pass this.
Florida Surgeon General Dr. Joseph Ladapo announced that he intends to rid his state of all vaccine mandates.
They've already passed that legislation, guys. We thought that Florida was unique, that Florida was somehow like, this is crazy. You know, wow, that's so far. But no, every single state pretty much has these bills being introduced to them right now, guys. Every single state pretty much, 48 out of the 50.
Law in Idaho does is flip on its head one of the hallmarks of modern public health, that a person's full participation in society depends on their willingness to follow certain rules. To read more, go to propublica.org or click on the link in bio.
So, again, guys, so what we're doing is we are organizing now in order to try to stop these from happening. Okay, we are contacting these swing voters. We are contacting them because they are trying. There's a program in New Hampshire that has a program to fund free childhood vaccines. And they're trying to remove that in New Hampshire, among other things. So it's everywhere, guys. It is everywhere. So we are organizing state by state. We are organizing state by state to try to stop this from happening now. Okay, these are the states where these things are happening. Let's see. Let me bring it up. These are the states that have anti-vaccine bills. Going through them right now. 423 bills out of these states. So that means that we're talking about a dozen sometimes per state. Texas has a ton. Exactly, Daisy. That's the way to think about this. Is that is why we are calling, and that is why our opinion matters. Even if you do not live in any of these states, the idea that these states are going to be incubators for communicable disease. And communicable disease does not stop at state lines, people. So if you are mad about this and you are angry, good. You should be. If you are not angry about this and you're not frustrated, I don't know what to tell you. But being angry is good. Being angry is a motivating factor. And what we need to do is channel this into action. We're going to be channeling it into contacting these. This is New Hampshire. We start New Hampshire today. We're going to do another state tomorrow. Every day, we're going to have a new state. Every stream, we're going to talk about through it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Marina, this is your space. Welcome. Welcome. Exactly, Marina. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. We are going to be advocating for the abolishment. We do every day. I stream every night. So every night we are going to be talking about one of these. And we're going to, the contact list is going to add. We're going to add to the environmental, we're going to add to the spreadsheet, guys. So it's going to keep coming. The contact list is going to grow. When we need people to be involved, and we need people to contact these people. We need people that can go to New Hampshire. October 29th is the in-person town hall in regards to this. We need people to go there. They're not going to be expecting us. They're not going to, there is no other pro-science. There is no other pro-science advocacy groups right now. It's just us. So we need to do this, and we need to get on it now. Vanessa, we've been talking about it for 30 minutes, so there's a YouTube archive that you can watch. We're launching a political action group through this stream, and we're organizing through the Discord. If you want details and you want the up-to-date, everyday phone numbers, the emails, everything, join the Discord. That is where that's where we are organizing through. The Discord link is in my link tree and my bio. Okay, dude, you gotta chill. And that's what we have to do. Okay, guys?
Oh,
Hi, 5 Minute. How's it going? Hi, Marissa.
hello. It's going. How are you?
Good. I'm happy to be rolling this out so that we can talk about this, and I want to see. I'm excited to make some movement on it finally.
Well, I think it is a much needed endeavor, and I support you.
Thank you.
100%. To be perfectly honest, it's just very scary. It's scary. You know, I every day I educate people about healthcare and illness, not just mine. And it amazes me how many people like cannot connect germs to illness. Like it's not a thing.
Yeah. Well, they
Can't
don't think that
connect.
viruses are real. I mean, they don't think that viruses are a real thing. So, and they only focus, if they don't think that viruses are real and viruses cause disease, then that means that vaccines don't cause a problem, right? So it's just, it's nonsense. So, but unfortunately,
Bacteria.
it's not just vaccines. It's not just vaccines. It's all type of communicable disease. Even if the anti-vaxxers are what they believe, right? They would have to have some type of public health system, right, in order to alert people, in order to be attuned with what outbreaks are happening, to alert people if people are sick. I mean, can't we? The idea that they would be dismantling epidemiology, the tracing, the contact tracing, it's just asinine.
Well, I think, in all honesty, is that there is a false sense of security. So people think, okay, we don't vaccinate. And somebody gets sick, that's cool. They'll just go to the hospital. Oh, you caught something at school, that's no problem. You get an antibiotic, but you just go to the pharmacy. But people are not understanding that our hospitals and our pharmacies have been under fire for the last 15 years.
Yeah.
Ever since the supposed opioid crisis. And now what you have hospitals which used to be run by a board, you know, and people that were personally invested in the hospital and in making it a good place. Those people have now been removed and they're replaced by, you know, insurance actuaries and these massive networks. And then when you look further into it, your nurses, 50% of your nurses are travelers. So they have absolutely no incentive to set the bar and keep the bar for a high standard of care, which has always been the foundational premise of nursing, right? Because they're not even, their patients aren't even first, let alone the facility. What's first is the company that is sending them from one place to another, that's lying to them, telling them things like HIPAA's not a thing. You don't have to deal with HIPAA. Like, you might think you're invincible, but you are not more powerful than the federal government. Like, go find some business, for real. And then you have hospitalists, right? Now, for people who don't know, hospitalists as a practice is not a new thing. They basically are like the quintessential night doctor. You know, there'd be like maybe 10 of them at night, and they just running all over the hospital, just trying to help nurses.
Yeah.
Hospitalists now, I think they're number 2 in the country for most profitable practice, straight out of medical school. No nothing needed. You don't need to go intern. You don't need brick and mortar. You don't need a staff. You don't even need patients. You know why? Your patients are coming from the hospital, and your only objective is to protect the hospital's bottom line. So patients can't even have their own primary care physicians come into the hospital and care for them. I mean, I can have mine do it, but I've said this before. I'm an incredibly privileged patient, but even with all my privilege, I had to threaten Cedars-Sinai Medical Center 5 times in the last 12 years. I will sue you. And now they're like, just give her what she wants. But it shouldn't be that way. And then when you look outward towards the pharmacies, you have pharmacists practicing far out of their scope and withholding people's medications and actually moving around the scheduling, of like pain meds or like Ativan. I had a pharmacist tell me that Ativan is a Schedule II narcotic. In whose world? Where they do that? No, it's not. You made that up. Benadryl is a Schedule II narcotic. I could get that over the counter and give it to my 6-month-old if I felt they needed it. And you literally are going to fill my script because they have been given. I mean, I don't want to say who left the gate open, but let's just be clear. They ran that sucker down. Ain't no gate. Ain't no gate. Ain't no locks. No responsibility to the public. No pride in your job. And definitely no real care for the people that come to you for help. And that in itself is so incredibly painful and hurtful, because what's going to happen, see, these people are going to be somewhat successful. Not all of them. And even the ones that are somewhat successful, I don't believe they'll be successful to the point, right, that they believe they will be, but successful enough to cause a lot of issues.
Yeah.
And that's when America's going to wake up, because who are you going to call? Where are you going to go? You going to go to the ER and sit for 18 hours?
Exactly.
Are you going to go to your free clinic and then get a script and then take that script to CVS, which is the largest retail pharmacist in the pharmacy in the country right now, and have CVS tell you that they don't think you need this medication, therefore they're not going to release it? Like, you got to look beyond and be clear. The wealthy aren't worried because concierge medicine never went away. We just call it home health for regular people, but it ain't really never gone nowhere. And so they're not really bothered. But your grandparents, your preschoolers, y'all are setting them up for a very hard life when you don't have to.
Yeah.
And it's a very
it's going to be doing harm on people. It's just
incredible.
It's incredibly frustrating. And this is the time to fight, though. It's a lot easier. The best time to fight would have been in 2024 to stop this from happening. But, it didn't, and now this is where we are. And it's easier to fight these bills now than it is going to be in the future at reinstating this stuff. It just is. Like, it is the easiest it's ever going to be right now. And we have to engage, and there is nobody else. It is up to whoever is going to organize this, and there's nobody else stepping up. I don't know why, but I think that people are just resting on their laurels and thinking that the American Medical Association, or that the science is going to be sound enough that these aren't going to pass. But they've already shown that they will shut down this stuff. They will pass it, and it's happening.
I think, I don't want to say this out loud, but you'll understand. I think we are experiencing what Germany felt in the early 20th century.
Yeah, sure.
because Germany was the seat of medicine. If you wanted to be taken seriously as a physician, as a scientist, you had to go to Germany, to study and then come home. And between World War One and World War Two, and especially after World War Two, they lost that. They lost that seat of power. They lost that respect in medical research and academia, and their people paid greatly for it, and they truly thought that they were indestructible. And that's what I see happening here. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, just go Google it.
Yeah.
Just it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the only other thing, like if you think about regulations, right?
Uh-huh.
So what regulations could possibly be in place to prevent something like this? I was thinking about that the other day, and then I have the very frightening thought, we're in wartime effort still.
Pirate, I'm not a
COVID was
physician. I can't answer that. I don't know. The problem
no,
is that we
COVID is
have
a
no
wartime
federal healthcare system. So normally, like, you would have some type of federal program doing these type of, like, this is what we're going to do. The CDC tells you, I'm a physician. I'm not a physician. So you need a physician's idea on what it's going to be. That's the
No,
problem.
but
is
I-
that
when I-
we, go ahead.
No, when I say wartime effort,
Mhm.
I'm simply speaking to the fact that when we have to do something as a country for the greater good,
Mhm.
like when World War II, GM was making, tanks during COVID, we had companies suspending whatever it is they were making to make scrubs and to make gear for our nurses and our first responders. Wartime effort means that regulations are paused and that the people at the top can move certain things around for the betterment of fighting the cause, whatever that cause is.
Mhm.
And so, like, that's how you ended up with so many traveling nurses. That's
Sure.
how you ended up, with all of the stuff that we dealt with during COVID. It was a suspension of regulations in order to get things that were needed to the people and to the facilities as quickly as possible. And it didn't end until I believe Biden said, oh, COVID's not a thing anymore. But I don't know if he officially suspended it as wartime effort. And if he didn't, then that's a very large loophole that's
Yeah.
problematic.
No, yeah. I mean, anything that the president portrays as a national defense thing, it can be, you can spin it up whatever you want. I mean, that's what Trump has done with this war in Venezuela. That's what he's done with the ICE budget, bringing it from 10 billion to 150 billion. There's tons of the leeway and I definitely agree that is where our government is. We have a unitary executive theory. The president of the United States is less accountable than a king, so we have to elect a president that is willing to do this stuff and usher in like a new era where they just come in first day. OMB allows everyone to sign up for Medicare. Every age, everyone can just sign up for Medicare. Done. Next problem. We don't even have to pass a healthcare bill. We don't. Like, the Democrats need to start rethinking how they understand how government works, because this idea that we have to do things by the slow, deliberative way, and we have to wait and do these checks and balances while the Republicans just steamroll through and they can do whatever they want whenever they want. No, that's not how it works anymore, guys. So
Absolutely not. And not just that, but Hamilton is upticking on TikTok right now.
yeah,
And the reason I bring that up is because I think as Americans, we've lost sight of what our government was meant to be. It was never about being president.
yeah,
Being president was never the goal, y'all. The goal was local law, being a mayor,
sure,
an ombudsman, at most like a governor,
hmm,
right? So that you could protect your small part of this great nation.
yeah.
And the president was just this dude that got to sit there for 4 years and do what he do.
Well, that's what
And
federalism is. That was the whole idea. That is what the ratification of the original, the Articles of Confederation died, because they were the libertarian wet dream of every state being its own thing. There was no federal government. There's no Supreme Court. There was no executive branch. There was no Senate. No, the Senate was, I forget. I don't think that there was a Senate. Or if
no,
it
we
was,
had no, we
it was
had a
governors.
Senate
The governor,
or
it was governor
governors, but
appointed. Um,
it was more like based on House of Peers, like on a peerage. Because I mean, it's from Britain, so I think it was closer to that.
yeah,
But the
exactly, Marissa.
point,
It's we have to come to the idea was that the states are sovereign. They have their own ability to jail people separate than the federal government. That's why when you are charged with a state crime, you can't have a presidential pardon for your crimes. That's why Trump will always be a 34 times convicted, uh, you know, he's convicted of those crimes, and he can't absolve himself of that because he can't pardon himself. So that's just what it
from the
is.
state, right? But my point being is this: if you're going to in voting, we have to take back our voting in
Mhm.
local government, and we have to take back our votes and showing up to the polls for our governors and our representatives. And it's not just about the president, it's about your local government. And that was the idea. And that was what gave you
Yeah.
some cushion
I
in
think that
between.
that's what it was, but that's a dead idea now. I don't think that Democrats should be fighting to restore that, to be honest with you. I mean
I
that's not
don't know if it's a fight to restore it, but what I do think is that that's still, I'm trying to think of the word to put to use. I think though it's still in place. So I guess where I'm coming from is look at the things that are in place that we can use, and then look at the things that we can do to create change,
Mhm.
like contacting, you know, the Senate and the representatives about these crazy bills
Mhm.
that they want. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like look what's in
It's
place.
it,
'Cause you got
it
it's too.
the last 10 years has completely reshaped what the Constitution is. Like we can't fight and undo the last 10 years of Supreme Court precedent. We have to create new ideas within this new reality that we are in. And I think like we have to use it going forward. I mean, it's just that's just what it is. I think I think that the Supreme Court needs to be radically reined in. It's a corrupt and inherently corrupt system because of what happened with Obama, and that's what the argument should be. The Supreme Court has been broken since the Constitution was not given to the constitutional rights given to Obama, and therefore we need to change the composition of the court, like has been done many times before, guys. If we can't do the same things that have been done previously that are totally within the purview of Congress and the President of the United States to change the Constitution, the makeup of the court, then we're not thinking right. You know what I mean? The President of the United States is doing things outside of his constitutional capabilities, outside of his constitutional power, and yet Democrats can't think within the box. You know, it's like, come on, guys. Come on. We have to do way better than this. So, well, thank you, 5 minutes. Thank you so much for being on. I appreciate you always coming on and giving it a good perspective. So, thank you, 5 minutes.
Thank you. You have a good
one.
weekend.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, guys. All right, guys. Well, real quick, if you please hit the heart there. Also, we are organizing, guys, for political change in the state houses now. This is a politically organized stream where we are actually making an impact in our local governments. We are targeting these New Hampshire state senators right now because there is a bill on their docket, HB 524, that is aiming to repeal a program that gives free childhood vaccinations. So what we are doing is we are organizing to try to show these people that this is important, that they should not be repealing this, and we are contacting them. So please, if you want to get involved, with this organizational effort, please join the Discord. Please join the link is in my link tree and my TikTok bio. And that's how we are organizing it. So every day we're going to target a new state house. We're going to target a new bill, and we're going to grow the contact list of people. And every day we're going to have people calling and making good trouble. That's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be making some good trouble. Jen in Vegas. Thank you, Britt. Thank you. Hi, Jen in Vegas. How's it going?
Not great. I didn't know about this. I just happened to get on here and saw you talking about it, and I was like, what the hell is going on?
Mm-hmm.
I'm in Nevada.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't one of the states on there, but obviously I know that, especially being a tourist state,
Yeah.
that's not awesome. So I'm processing a little bit here. But also, I'm not at all surprised that New Hampshire's on this list.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when I was anti-vax back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
I lived in Massachusetts, and New Hampshire was full of anti-vaxxers. And
Maladaptive. 2 vaccines for maladaptive for in 3, 2, 1.
ooh,
Nice. Good work.
nice work.
Sorry, the
Yep.
New Hampshire. I think that the
No, you're
problem with
good.
some places with like New Hampshire, they conflate selfishness with patriotism with freedom and liberty. They've kind of like conflated it all, and a lot of people they think that freedom and liberty is just selfishness. It's like I could do whatever I want, and that's not how it works. That's not what actually happens.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. We all have we all have a responsibility to the society that we're a part of.
Mm-hmm.
We receive from it and we give to it. That's the only way to live in a community. That's the only way to live in a society.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody asked in the comments about what made me not be anti-vax anymore. I know I covered this the first time you and I talked.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I guess I can go over it again. I don't know if you want that or not.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah. So I got sucked into it from all the propaganda. The propaganda has not changed, by the way. It's just been politicized.
Yeah.
At the time, it wasn't politicized. Now it is politicized, and that's what's made it so dangerous and mainstream, you guys.
Yeah. This
Back
is what
when I was anti-vax.
this
Go
is
ahead.
what the thing that I show where do you think
Yep.
that vaccines are more dangerous than the diseases they're designed to prevent or not? Look at that. I mean, that's basically 31% of Republicans just completely ignoring and discounting germ theory. I mean, this is just, it's just the
Correct.
Republicans, guys. It's not like science as an institution has become more untrustworthy. It's just the Republicans.
Yes, yes, absolutely. But it's the exact same propaganda. It's just been mainstreamed because of politics, and it's putting everyone in danger. Your choice affects me. Your choice affects the newborn down the street from you. And if you're making your choice based on bad information from politicians who get vaccinated, by the way, Trump gets vaccinated. I'm going to say that again. Trump gets vaccinated.
Yep. We have that too. We got it right here. This is him from his physician notes. 2 vaccines in preparation for upcoming international travel. He received his health screenings, immunizations, including annual influenza and updated COVID-19 booster vaccinations. And we added him to this number. So 2 of those vaccines are his. That we voted.
I love that so much.
We voted as a community, and overwhelmingly 90% of people wanted him to be a part of our vaccine board.
Absolutely. Absolutely, he should be. So, yeah, he gets vaccinated, and all of the media talking heads who tell you that the vaccines aren't safe, they get vaccinated.
Yep.
And all the politicians telling you that you should have the freedom to choose and all of this other stuff, they get vaccinated, and they
Yep.
secretly want you to get vaccinated too. The ones who don't, though, I have to say, it's very much when people think that potentially being disabled by a vaccine, and to be clear, those disabilities from vaccines have been disproven over and over again. But say it actually did. Say these vaccines sometimes disabled people. The diseases end lives. The disabilities from those diseases are far worse than anything I've heard claimed by vaccines.
Exactly.
What you're saying is that you would rather be gone from this world or have your child gone from this world than have a disability. And that is eugenics.
Yeah. Exactly.
And I need everyone to just be I'm not I'm not overstating that. The fear of autism in particular is very problematic. It's just a neurodivergence, and it happens naturally. It's not triggered by anything environmental, and that's been proven time and again. These are all things that I learned after I had been anti-vax for a while, you guys. And my youngest wasn't vaccinated for the first 2 years of his life. And despite that, he still developed certain health conditions that they swore up and down were only caused by vaccines.
Wow.
Okay, he still got them, and he was completely unvaccinated. I didn't let him get the Hep B shot when he was born, and he didn't get any vaccines until he was 2 years old. And when I started seeing whooping cough was making a comeback,
Yeah.
and then I saw that there was even some, there were a couple of cases of diphtheria, I want to say, and measles was coming back, and just all these things making a comeback, I immediately was like, no, we're done. We're done with this. This is wrong. It was always wrong, and I'm going to fix this now. And we all got caught up on our vaccines, me and
Good.
my kids.
Good.
And this was about, my youngest is 18 now. So this was a while ago. This is pre-Trump. Obama was in office. Okay. And before that, GW was in office when I first was introduced to the anti-vax movement. The propaganda is very convincing when you know just enough to be dangerous. I don't know if any of you have heard that phrase before, but
No, it's so
when you
true.
know just enough to be dangerous, right? It's
because
there's formaldehyde.
It sounds scary. There's like a little tinge of something to it, so that they, like, when they look it up, it's like not entirely false. And I know exactly what you're talking about. It's very, very frustrating.
Oh, that's interesting. I see somebody who was being very vocally anti-vax has decided they're exiting. I must be making sense.
They never last long.
when you hear formaldehyde and mercury, obviously you're like, oh, why would that be in there? But there are plenty of explanations out there, you guys. You just have to look, and you have to be open to the information. And listen to actual scientists and doctors instead of politicians. Or, a guy who was addicted to heroin and had a brain worm. I don't know. I prefer to listen to somebody like Dr. Greg.
I mean, guys, I wouldn't even listen to studies, listen to the actual science, guys.
Thank you.
It's
right.
like that is what like this right here. This is the latest, the biggest study to date. This is a 25-year study, 1.2 million kids, looking at all the different adjuvants, all the different things that are inside vaccines, trying to link it to any type of neurodivergence. Couldn't find anything. So the biggest study on this, and again, it's so funny because you can just see how the anti-vaxxers brain loop into the same things. Guys, this is a Denmark study, so it had nothing to do with the FDA. It had nothing to do with any pharmaceutical company funding it. So exactly, that's that's why they hate this. This specific study it's so good that RFK tried to get it retracted, as opposed to fund a study that could actually show any type of response to it. So it's
Right.
disgusting.
Yep. And and I'm not in medicine at all. And I was in the position of knowing just enough to be dangerous, and the very convincing way that the propagandists would present this information. Of course, Andrew Wakefield had a lot to do with it. And he was just being found out around that time, or just before that time. But it's important to look at consensus. There's no conspiracy in the medical community to purposely make us sick with vaccines.
Yeah. There's too many new people coming in. Like there's too much like financial incentive actually to whistleblow on something like that. Like for example, for me as a biologist, I would be the most famous scientist of all time, and I would have lifelong financial servitude. I would be done financially. It'd be amazing for me if I could disprove evolution, for example, right? I would make a lot of money. I would be the most famous scientist of all time. Like there's tons of reasons why personally I would benefit from it. But and think about that. Every single biologist, every single PhD has that. And we're not indoctrinated. We are, let into this weird ivory tower thing that I do think is like too gatekept and things. I think that is true. But every single new person coming in has that ability to whistleblow on the whole thing. So in order for there to be a conspiracy that is wrapping up this whole thing, you're literally having to talk about a global conspiracy amongst all the scientists that are in these fields now, in the past, in the future. And on top of that, you have their funding sources, which are the governments of every industrialized country in the world, also in cahoots, and all the pharmaceutical companies that have every single incentive to whistleblow on one another to say, hey, like there's every financial incentive for Pfizer to whistleblow on Moderna to be like, hey, there's graphene oxide in these vaccines. What are you doing? Or they're
that's a
making
great
you
point.
they're making you they're making people magnetic. Like the companies are rivals to one another, guys. They're not in cahoots to one another. They don't want to. They don't want that to happen. They would love to have a
no,
monopoly.
that's a great point. Yeah, that's a great point. And yeah, like one of the things they say is it's like, how many people can know a thing for it to be kept a secret?
Exactly.
And it's one. It's one.
Yeah.
It's one person, And yeah, the idea that all of these people just know and they're all getting money from it, and that's silly. That's absolutely silly. Nobody's getting rich off vaccines. It's just good public health care.
There's more money and there's more money to be made by the pharmaceutical companies with people getting sick with prolonged hospital stays. I mean,
yes,
per measles case, we're talking about $46,000 per case. It cost the state of Oregon. Meanwhile, the vaccine, $100. So I mean, it's a huge economic driver. Actually, it's 11-to-1 economic drivers. Money spent for governments, because guys, people get to work longer hours. They don't have to worry about going to concerts or large events and stuff like that. So it's a huge economic driver that you don't have the 30 communicable diseases running rampant throughout your population. Like who would have thought? So they have tons of financial and capitalist non-profit motive reasons to have this, to fund vaccines.
Yeah, you know what? Who I think needs to have jobs again? And what I really think we need to have like a comeback. We need people who can build iron lungs again. Like that's going to be like a big driver for jobs, you guys. Like you wanted jobs, you can build iron lungs, and I hope you never have to go into one. I think the last person who was ever in an iron lung passed away a couple of years ago.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
And if you can find the footage, it's got to be all over YouTube. There are probably clips all over TikTok, but you probably want to go onto YouTube for this. Just sit there and watch it. He was elderly, and he had been in there since he was a child, and he could never leave it. He was just always in this iron lung for the most part. Imagine living your life like that. Imagine your child living their life like that. And it could have been prevented. Nobody needs to go into iron lungs. When was the last time someone needed to go into an iron lung?
Yeah.
We don't even make them. So obviously the vaccine works, because we're not all getting polio.
Exactly.
Because we have a polio vaccine.
That's why
it's just, like, look around yourselves.
Exactly.
And,
this is why
stop
it's
listening. Yeah.
They're not anti-vaccine anymore. It's an anti-virus. They don't agree that viruses are real. And that's why we do the list. That is what it is, where these people have foundational conspiratorial problems where everything is
right.
That's why they believe in flat Earth. That's why a lot of them don't even believe that the immune system is real. It's not. They don't believe that it exists. They believe in flat Earth. They don't believe that gravity is real. They think
They think the moon landing was faked.
Exactly,
yeah, I remember there were a lot of those people that ran in those circles.
I honestly, I never in my life would have thought, until I honestly started talking to so many of these people, like how many conspiracies that they believe in. But it is interesting how some of them really do think that, like, they have all the conspiratorial beliefs, but then they, for some reason, think that, like, dinosaurs are real, or because as a kid they thought it was a really cool thing that dinosaurs existed. So that, like, that'll stick through. You know what I mean? There'll be literal like inconsistencies, idiosyncrasies with their thinking, and I think that is a way. That's why, asking questions to anti-vaxxers is the best way, guys, to talk to them, because it allows them to think. It allows you to kind of drive the conversation actually really well, because you're asking like, why do you believe the things that you believe? And they're gonna love to tell you. They're gonna love to tell you about why they think it is. But and then also that can start the process forward. You're never gonna be able to debate them. I mean, Dawkins has a quote. It's like you can't reason someone out of a belief that they haven't reasoned themselves into. So you can't like logic trick them out of a belief in that they haven't logicked their way into, if that makes any sense. So
it does. And I answered the question in the comments, but somebody asked the question, do vaccines have formaldehyde? Yeah, they do, but there's more formaldehyde in a pear than there is in a vaccination, or even in all the vaccinations you would get into one session. And the mercury that is in only some flu vaccines is not the kind of mercury you're thinking of. It's a completely different kind of mercury. And I can't explain the science about it. I just remember that I read about it and I was like, oh.
Yeah. And the
I knew just enough to be dangerous.
The aluminum in it is a really small amount too, and it's less than breast milk. So,
right.
Yeah.
I remember
Lori,
you said that last time we talked.
Yeah. Lori, you don't understand you don't even understand what's in vaccines. You don't understand the process. So that's like saying, I don't think tape should be in a car engine. Or it's like, what? Like how do you, why would you think, oh, I don't think a fire should be in a car engine. Well, you kind of need one in order to have like the internal combustion engine. So it's like that's kind of a major part. So you kind of don't understand what you're talking about. You know what I mean? The things that would not be intuition aren't necessarily how we understand the world, and that's what science is for. That's what science is used for as a mechanism to better understand what's happening, and that's why we have it.
Yeah, it's not. It sounds scary, I realize, but it's really not once you really look into it, instead of looking at the fear-mongering about it. If you take the time, and there's better information out there now for you to actually get accurate information than there was when I was anti-vax.
Exactly.
Like my kid's pediatrician was not ready for me when I walked through the door. I'll tell you what, but every pediatrician is armed with information these days.
Yeah.
So there's really no reason to not be able to get the accurate information, but you need to be open to the possibility that people who are trying to sell you a bunch of supplements online and have zero responsibility to you or your children if something happens to you or them, don't know what they're talking about and or don't have your best interest at heart. The doctor your child sees is the one legally responsible for your child's well-being and health care. If they don't do the right thing, they are liable for malpractice. The doctor on the internet who's trying to sell you their supplements and convince you that vaccines aren't safe, they have zero legal obligation to you and will not be held liable if something happens because you make a decision based on what they say.
Exactly. Yeah. It's very, very wild to me. I think that it's so frustrating, but hopefully they're not expecting us. Hopefully we can make a difference. Maybe we can channel this frustration into positive change. I think that's the best thing that we can do and the only way going forward. So,
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the other things that I remembered hearing a lot, and they would manipulate graphs to make it look more impactful. They would say, no, all these diseases started going down around the same time, even with other things that we didn't get vaccines for because of improved sanitation and nutrition and all this other stuff. And that was really compelling until you zoomed out on those graphs and got more data, and it became very obvious that the big drop was due to vaccination. So I know we all like to say data doesn't lie, but data can absolutely be manipulated for an agenda, you guys. So get several sources when you're getting information from these anti-vaxxers. Like, you gotta question what you're looking at, and then go find other sources that are not from these anti-vaxxers, and get like the bigger picture. And like, all the studies are showing that the vaccines are safe for the vast majority of people,
It's wild.
and they prevent these diseases.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, nine times out of 10, when I bring up the anti-vaxxers source, we read it, and the link itself that is they literally used as a source, you just read it, and it says the exact opposite of what they said. So they're using in science, it's called misattribution, when you are saying something is something when it's not, and guess what? Like, you just have to read, and it's really not hard. So.
Oh yeah. RFK cited several scientific studies, and then after that, doctors went all over the internet and they said that's not what that study says.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Reading, guys. It's a superpower. I'm telling you, reading.
Yep.
Reading is the superpower that can help you understand and like really educate yourself, going forward. It's just, it really is that easy. So, well, Jen, thank you so much for coming up. I appreciate you. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Do you want to say something?
Oh, I was going to say, like, me and my kids are going to be going and getting a bunch of vaccines here pretty soon, get, boosted up for a bunch of different stuff, get our flu vaccines and whatnot. And I think everyone else watching, you should too, especially right now when vaccination rates are dropping. Like, we all need to get boosted up. We can't just keep putting it off.
For kids,
as adults,
it's especially
too,
bad right now. It's especially bad for
Yeah.
kids. They're dying at higher rates than normal. Even RFK's CDC
Unacceptable.
is recommending 6 months and above to get the COVID booster. I mean, the flu, because people are dying at higher rates of the flu. So even they're recommending flu shots for 6 months and above. And we just saw a paper and read one last night that the COVID booster actually gives you anti-cancer capabilities, because it allows you your body fights the cancer cells because you're at a heightened immune system. So that has so the COVID booster has anti-cancer impacts and helps prevent long COVID, which is a serious ailment that we don't have a cure for. So it's huge.
Yeah, I want all the mRNA vaccines. Like, I want all of them now. Like, just like, shoot me up. Like, I'm gonna be invincible, you guys.
Exactly. So true.
All right, thank you for having me up.
Thank
and
you.
I'm gonna go check out your links in the Discord and
cool.
everything, so I can
guys.
help where I can.
Nice. Awesome. Thank you, Jen. I appreciate you.
Tap the screen, you guys, and share out the live. All right,
Thank you.
bye.
Love it. Thank you. Bye. Angie, we covered it yesterday. So there's a YouTube archive link if you want. But basically the Discord has the link, the primary source. But basically, the mRNA vaccine creates your body into a heightened sense of immune response, and that means that people that have the COVID vaccine are less likely to develop cancer. They live longer, way longer. It's like 3 times as long with cancers. So it's very good. Okay. I know, isn't it, Morgan? It's so cool. Okay, real quick, guys. Please heart the stream as you can, please. I appreciate you so much. Thank you to all the super fans. Allison, as our latest super fan, thank you so much. To all the gifters, thank you. Very appreciate you. Noble Sharon, Ducray, Bailey, NB, DN, Jen, Cher. Thank you to all the likers. 100 likes, 1,000 likes, or 12,000 likes like Bailey. Incredible. Thank you, Noble Sharon. Again, 7,000 likes. And share 5,000. Helen's awesome, guys. Always the first one in the stream every night. She is amazing. Vanessa, Envy again. Thank you. Keisha, you guys are so cool. Thank you. Thank you to all our Patreons. Mrs. Dr. G, Ado, Call Me Ness. Appreciate you so much, guys. Linktree, guys. Linktree has everything. Linktree has the Discord. It has my publications. It has my Instagram. Instagram, guys. Follow me on Instagram. It's pretty cool. But the big thing, guys, is the Discord. Get in the Discord so that you can help politically organize with us against these MAHA bills that are trying to pass and harm children throughout the country. If you are pro-family, if you want our kids to live long, disease-free lives, get vaccines in these children, guys. Vaccines are safe and effective, and the Republican Party is going after not just vaccines. They are going after all public health bills in all of these states. So we're talking about bills that protect people that are sick from quarantining. They're going to allow people with known diseases to not quarantine. They're going to stop gene therapy approaches that are personalized cancer treatments. The Republican Party is trying to ban cancer treatments in the state levels right now. And it's happening. So what we're doing is we're counter-organizing these. State by state, we are going to go every night. We are going to go and politically organize against them and counter-organize these MAHA groups. So this one right now, our contact list for the night, we're contacting New Hampshire about HB 524, guys. We are contacting these people by phone, by email. And we're going to try to make them understand that they need to vote yes, because they are trying to repeal a bill that provides free vaccines to children. I don't understand how anyone could be against that. Genuinely, it's just wild to me. But here we are. This is the world that we live in. We need to change it. We need to look at how we can channel our anger productively. Screenshot, or you can just join the Discord, guys. That is where all the information is going to be in the future. That is where we have a political action group. And the action alerts. We're doing it. I know, Dr. Rowe. Yeah, it is. I mean, they conflate incorrectly selfishness with freedom and liberty. So you can't be free in a world where you can't go outside. You are not. That is no liberty. There is no liberty in that. So we have to fight this. It is easier to fight this now than it will be in the future. Okay. Yeah, I'm not benefiting off the pharmaceutical industry. So that is not what's happening here. But I probably don't know any scientists in order to make that conclusion, but yeah. That's what it is. All right. Oh, Sherry, you're in the Discord now. Awesome. Do you know how I can find out which vaccines and meds have mammal products? Oh, because you're veg. That's a good question. I'm not 100% sure. That's a good question. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know what that is. Sorry. Okay. All right. Let's go through some other stuff. All right, guys. Show notes are always a good place to start if you wanted to understand what's going on. Primary sources that we like to read here, understand what's happening in the world. Always love primary research, primary sources. The less amount of people between us and the actual data, the better. That's how I've always understood it. Okay. What do you think about what this administration's done to the EPA? Oh my, it's an awful. I did gloop. The EPA has been stymied. Like, we can't even say or talk about climate change. They've stopped a lot of research in regards to ecology. I mean, it's awful. But yeah, stars. We have the Idaho Medical Freedom Act. Yeah, we were just talking about that, and fortunately, I mean, this is one of the bills that is being replicated all throughout the country. So we have that is one of the reasons why we are counter organizing against these MAHA groups. Oh, that's a good point. Poison control can tell you what secondary and allergic reactions what vaccines have. Okay, that's a good point. Bye, Lacey. All right. Let's see what science news there is, guys. Can you imagine? Science news. Let's see. Whoa, rats filmed snatching bats from air for first time. That's kind of cool. Oh no. All right, let's read one of these. Science. University of California faculty face pushback against Big Brother cybersecurity mandate. School officials defend their software as bulwark against ransomware, but professors fear potential surveillance of their devices. Faculty and administrators at the University of California have settled into a bitter stalemate in a dispute over privacy and academic freedom. For more than a year, faculty members have voiced loud opposition to a cybersecurity mandate they say hands administrators and federal agencies access to their research and communications. Last month, they learned that the UC president's office would not issue any further statements on the issue, a decision faculty say underscores their frustration over limited dialogue about the mandate, which began going into effect in May. The long-running dispute centers on Trellix, a cybersecurity software UC now requires on all university-owned computers, used by faculty and even personal computers accessing certain online university resources. UC officials say it is essential for defending against a surge in digital threats, but faculty warned that Trellix is highly intrusive and effectively gives administrators the ability to view or even remotely manipulate nearly all activity on their devices. Trellix's participation in the Federal Joint Cyber Defense Collective, which aims for rapid information sharing between private companies and federal agencies, that's not good, is stoking the concerns. Faculty fear that the software could expose sensitive research, regulated health data, and high-value innovations to a presidential administration already hostile to higher education. Yeah, that's not a good thing, guys. Yeah, that's a huge no from me right now. That is hugely bad. No, thank you. It's the Joint Cyber Defense Collaborative. Putting this kind of software on our machines completely obliterates our ability to speak and think freely in our academic communities, says Lily Irani, a communication scholar of technology at UC San Diego. Hey, that's me, and vice chair of the UCSD Faculty Association. It feels very much like Big Brother sitting on the shoulder of every worker at the University of California. Oh, that's wild. Yeah, that's so weird. In February 2024, then UC President Michael Drake announced all employee computers connected to the university networks would be required to install Trellix by May 2025. Campuses failing to comply would face penalties for up to $500,000 per security incident. Per laptop, you're going to be paying $500,000 and a 15% increase in cybersecurity insurance costs. Unionized employees, including postdocs and graduate students, hey, that's me, were exempt because adding such terms to their contracts would have required separate negotiations. Oh, man. Yeah, guys, the professors are not unionized at the UCs. It's a big thing. Wow. UC faculty note that Trellix, formerly known as FireEye, was itself hacked by Russian intelligence in the 2020 SolarWinds cyber attack, and that compromised more than 250 federal agencies. Because it has full administrative control over every computer it monitors through a mechanism called root access, Trellix could become a single point of failure if breached, faculty argue. Adopting Trellix could make UC systems, quote, more rather than less vulnerable to attacks. That's wild, guys. I would not be okay with having that. The problem is it's just no trust. There's just no trust in this administration, right? I mean, nobody trusts anything anymore with the Trump administration, and rightly so. Nobody. I wouldn't trust it. So. Oh. Very bad. Have you read the study about nanobots in the COVID-19 vaccinations? No, that's not a study in this. They don't have nanobots in there. That's wrong. Oh, thanks, Ghost Pepper. Thank you, man. Ghost Reaper. Natalie, link me what your sources are that you think that you have. Okay, link it to me. Link it to me. Can federal government really do that to a state university? Is that a lawsuit in the making? Yeah, Dr. Rowe, it seems like they did it willingly. That's what's so crazy, is it seems like the chancellor did it. Like, why are they doing it? They can just access your stuff without a warrant. Oh, hi, Dr. Gigi. How's it going? Welcome. Natalie, I'm waiting for your paper. I would love to read the nanobots. I mean, you're actually, I don't know if you know, but I did my PhD with nanotechnology. I'm probably the only streamer in here on the entire internet that uses nanotechnology in their research. It's a very small field, so I'm so curious, so curious about nanobots in our vaccines. Thank you for enlightening me. I can't wait. Yeah, Angie, I don't think that there's no way. Oh, you're Doctor of Public Health. Oh, yes, Dr. Gigi. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, I will follow you. Oh, my gosh, you are... I need to talk to you. We need to chat for sure. So, this is our vaccine board. So, we advocate for vaccines here because the vaccines are the way that we use science in order to better our lives, and public health is that interface and how science can improve and help save lives directly. That's the biggest way that people can have a huge impact. So every time someone gets vaccinated, we celebrate them. We do a little vaccine party for them. We shout them out. And then on top of that, we are counter organizing all of these states that have anti-science, anti-vaccine bills going through them. So right now, we are organizing and countering these bills. Right now, we are focusing on New Hampshire. So New Hampshire has HB 524 going through them, and that is it's trying to defund a program and deconstruct a program that gives free childhood vaccines out. So they're trying to remove that. And we are contacting these state legislators, trying to get them to vote yes or vote no on it to try to stop this bill from happening. So we are doing that. If you guys want to get involved with the political organizing, get in the Discord. The Discord has all the Discord organizational stuff for what we're doing, everything like that. Exactly, Rapture. A lot. It's over 400 anti-science bills. So it's a lot of bills that are happening right now. Thank you, Dr. Gigi. Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. Yeah, that's not a nanobot. So even if that was true, that's not a nanobot, and that's not a paper. So again, we actually went over this. So this is one of your things where you haven't read the paper that you're linking right now, and I'm gonna pull it up, and then I'm gonna actually read the link that you haven't linked. And no, you didn't. No, you didn't read it. Because we'll read it right now. I mean, I can read it. Have I worked on chemical decon devices with nanotech? No, I worked with nanoparticles and functionalizing them to nanotechnology. So, no, it was single-walled carbon nanotubes. I haven't worked on like devices, medical devices, or anything like that. Yep. Okay. So one. Wait, someone's vaccine? Exactly. Yeah, Richard. Exactly. Yeah, people are willfully ignorant. It's going to be Amy 2.0. Yeah, exactly. Amy hasn't come. Yeah. Yeah. I got it. Okay. This is a different paper. Let's see. It's crazy that there's multiple of them out there. It's wild to me. I wonder if this spiker. Yeah. Okay, 3. Yeah, so basically, there's been a bunch of these. No, there's not more follow-ups. So basically, this is a spat of. So there's been a couple of these that have found them. One, DNA is not nanobots, so that you're not. That's not true at all, by the way. So. You're completely misusing that term, and that's not what it actually is. So basically, Ox 2025 and Spiker 2025 are both these papers that are incorrectly finding this thing and understanding what's going on. It's just DNA. But here you go. Here's the actual thing. So in a preprint, Ox 2025 present an analysis from a biomedical research center of the Slovak Academy of Sciences of residual plasmid DNA in vials of Pfizer-BioNTech and Moderna modified mRNA vaccines. They conclude that residual DNA present in the drug product is short, highly degraded, and biologically irrelevant. Upon technical review, this critique contends that their conclusions are not only premature, but also fundamentally unsupported by the approach employed. Methodological omissions, particularly in the relation to extraction efficiency, inhibition testing, and sequencing bias, undermine the quantitative accuracy. Crucially, their reliance on short-read Illumina sequencing inherently limits the detection of longer, potentially intact DNA fragments. This limitation has been directly addressed by long-read sequencing, Spiker 2025, which is what you linked, demonstrating plasmid fragments that exceed 3 kb in length, a finding that Ox were not equipped to observe. This highlights the need for unbiased multi-platform characteristics to reveal the true profile and amount of residual DNA. Additionally, in the light of the significant public health implications, full transparency regarding all institutional funding, including mRNA vaccine manufacturers, including Sensible Biotechnologies, is essential for assessing potential conflicts of interest. So that's the thing. So that was the paper. That is the. What are people asking for? Oh, my YouTube? Yeah, it's a Dr. Greg show. So it's going to be everywhere else is all the same. Dr. Greg show. Everywhere but TikTok. I got Dr. Nanotube, and it was just like cool and short and unique. So I just like keeping it. But I do have Dr. Greg show as a thing, but I don't want to reset my algorithm. I don't know. It's weird. It's stupid. So yeah. For some of the COVID-19 vaccines, the drug substances related to market were manufactured differently than those in the clinical trials. manufacturing nucleoside modified mRNA modular RNA for commercial COVID-19 vaccines relies on RNA polymerase transcription of a plasmid template. That's what the in vitro transcription is. Previous studies identified high levels of plasmid DNA in vials of mod RNA vaccines, suggesting that the removal of residual DNA template is problematic, which is actually kind of interesting. You just basically use DNA in order to do it. It's nucleoside modified. They changed the uracil. That's like one of the things that they change. Therefore, we quantified the DNA load in a limited number of Pfizer, BioNTech, and Moderna COVID-19 vaccine vials using two independent methods. Total DNA and specific DNA targets were quantified by qubit fluorometry and quantitative polymerase chain reaction, which is qPCR, respectively, on 32 trials representing 16 unique vaccine lots. RNase A treatment was used to assess the impact of RNA crosstalk and DNA fluorometry. So yeah, that's the thing. That's the RNase A is just what you use in order to, that's what chews away the RNA. A preliminary assessment of DNA fragment length and DNase 1 sensitivity were also performed. Total DNA ranged from 300 to 1,500 nanograms per dose, which is really small, and 1,100 to 6,000 nanograms per dose in the Pfizer and Moderna products, respectively. Specific DNA of multiple DNA targets ranged from 0.22 to 7.28 nanograms per dose of Pfizer and 0.01 to 0.78 nanograms per dose of Moderna. The SV promoter enhancer origin of replication, ORI, was only detected in Pfizer vials. Oxford nanopore sequencing of one vial found mean and maximum DNA fragments of 214 base pairs and 305 kb, respectively. These demonstrate the presence of 1.23 times 10 to the 8 to 1.6 times 10 to the 11th plasmid DNA fragments per dose encapsulated in lipid nanoparticles. Using fluorometry, total DNA in all vials tested exceeded the regulatory limit of residual DNA by the FDA and WHO by 36 to 153-fold for Pfizer and 111 to 627-fold for Moderna after accounting for nonspecific binding to mod RNA. When tested by qPCR, all Moderna vials were within regulatory limit, but 2 out of the 6 Pfizer lots exceeded the regulatory limit of the SV promoter enhancer ORI by 2-fold. The presence of the SV promoter enhancer element in Pfizer trials raises significant safety concerns. This study emphasizes the importance of methodological considerations when quantifying residual DNA and mod RNA products concerning increased LNP transfection efficiency and cumulative DNA presents significant unquantified risks to human health. I mean, so yeah, they're basically not having as much RNA inside of the lipid nanoparticle as you would want, and therefore it would be not as effective in creating the antibodies that you would want. That's all it is. So, yeah, that's the thing. So, there's no nanobots or anything. That's what I don't understand. You're just using that because you don't understand what DNA is somehow nanobots. That doesn't make any sense. So yeah, I mean, so this is obviously, if this was true and this was actually happening, this is one study. So we don't know if this was a problem with this batch or something like that. I mean, there should be more regulation on it. But that this is science working correctly if this is true, right? I mean, there's no problem here. I thought natural immunity was a good thing. I mean, the way you get natural immunity is through a vaccine. Vaccine gives you Vaccines give you natural immunity. Your natural immune system is bolstered with the vaccine. Getting infected with the virus causes undue harm and risks people's lives, so therefore it's not the safe and effective way of establishing that. Exactly. Yeah. Okay, JC, 17 seconds. Okay, you don't know what you're talking about. It's okay. You can request up, or you can just be wrong in the comments, but whatever you want. I mean, this also hasn't been quoted. I mean, this also hasn't been cited a lot, and it's in a bad journal. So those two things are kind of eh. So I don't really trust it that much. No, it's not right, JC 1776. That's not true at all. No, there's not, JC. No. You're thinking about vaccine side effects when we need to think about virus real effects. So that's the problem, is that there are real problems with viruses, and viruses cause disease. And a lot of you anti-vaxxers don't even think that viruses are real, and that's the big problem. So you're embarrassing. You're embarrassing yourself. You're embarrassing the United States. And people need to stop coddling you. And you're harming people, and it's not okay. You're owned. I'm not owned. You can be owned, but not me. It sounds like you're owned by Trump. Yeah, it does. It sounds like you're slurping the slop that he feeds you, brother. You think that you're a free, independent, skeptical, I'm just doing my own thing. In reality, you're just slurping whatever. You are. Yeah, you like him. Yeah, you do. You like him a lot. I can try to find... Oh, there you are. Oops. Wait. I tried to find Richard on the thing. Oh, there you are. Yeah, exactly. Trump did just get a booster. Hi, Richard. What's up? How's it going?
Hey, how are you doing?
Good, man.
Just have a question. Well, kind of want to actually talk about why us as a medical community can't clearly communicate with the general public.
Mm-hmm.
And, the thing is, just to give you a background where I'm from, I worked in an ambulance for 16 years. So the reality of me dealing with people face to face was, okay, I get it. You're hurt, or this is what's going on. This is what I need to do to help you. And through the years, I've learned that that's not the thing to say to them. The thing is, okay, this is what's going to happen. And I tell them and let them ask the questions instead of trying to give them the information. Because every time I try to give them the information, they just, especially when the internet came out.
Yeah.
Then we start with well, hey, but the internet says this, the internet says that. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, but it's 4:30 in the morning, and you can pull up the internet and have the internet treat you, or I can actually start an IV, give you some meds, take you to the hospital, and let the guys who are smarter than both you and I run some labs and take a look at and find out what's going on. Because right now you're playing Russian roulette.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going on. You're panicked and you're scared, and you think I'm hooking you up to a monitor. That's going to make you better. Your anxiety is relieved. But the funny thing is that you guys are way smarter than I am. Mm-hmm. Okay, and I'm not a person to be argumentative. When you look at history, our country was basically founded off inoculations. In Valley Forge, we would not have survived that whole thing had we been those guys had not been inoculated.
Yeah, exactly. George Washington mandated it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're right.
And see, the hilarious thing is you got all these people running around saying 1776, 1776, and they have no idea, the discipline that happened after the inoculation, who actually helped George Washington get the army in check with discipline, how all that, it wasn't just one person. It was a plethora of people. And we
See,
keep being divided.
see, guys, this is why I say I don't ban people that disagree with us in chat, because I say things. I say that the anti-vaxxers aren't just anti-vaccine; they don't believe in germ theory. And then he just says it. Polio is from spraying chemicals. So it's just, he's doing the terrain model of he doesn't think that germ theory is real. So we're back to the
Yeah, and this,
1700s again. So this
yeah, they're just, yeah,
it's wild. I mean, exactly. See, I just it's wild to me. And he probably believes in flat Earth. He probably it's a lab. Definitely doesn't believe in the moon landing. It's just we go through the list as we call them. Doesn't people? He probably believes in 90% of these conspiracies. Germ theory's fake. The immune system's not real. That COVID leaked from the lab. The moon landing was faked. Space is fake. That's an interesting one, because if you believe in the flat Earth, then space is just a projection, which is interesting. I don't know. Gravity is fake. Obviously, there's a 6,000-year-old Earth. Evolution doesn't exist. Dinosaurs are fake. Climate change isn't happening. Vaccines aren't safe and effective, and water has a memory. That's a interesting one.
Well, the funny thing is, if you want to tackle all that at one shot, it's like this. It's simple. If we were plus a degree or plus 2 degrees, if gravity is off by a certain percentage, if the moon is shifted a little bit, if the temperature, life can't exist. It is that delicate. Things are that delicate in our solar system and in our planet, that life can be altered quickly. And people they don't understand. They think 10 years is like a long time. 100 years is a long time. We're a country that's about to be 250 years old. We are new kids on the block. And here we are trying to fix stuff in the Middle East. And the hilarious thing is that I have nothing against people in their religions. They're going to believe what they're going to believe. The question is, what is normal?
Yeah.
My normal versus someone who lives in the Middle East is a completely different normal. I can get up. I can get on my scooter. I can go down to 7-Eleven. I can get my car and drive to Southern California. Yeah. I can do whatever I want and not be afraid of getting shot at or improvised device in the road. But these people, that's what they're used to. Exactly. They're used to fighting. That every day is a struggle.
So the majority of human existence, that humans have been around for 250,000 years. Our life expectancy is 30 to 35. And now within the last 150 years, because of the advent of modern medicine and the way that science actually has informed our lives, we have life expectancies into the 80s. So it's only since we've ushered away from feudalism and from theocracy and ways of just thinking about the world and actually understanding it mechanistically through science.
Yeah. And a lot of our discoveries actually, people will, well, we discovered this because of this and that and because of wars. But the people that were paying attention, that saw what that was like and realized, well, I don't want that to happen for my kids or my grandkids.
Yeah.
And you look at the profound impact the United States has had since the 1940s, 50s, 60s, and, in the 70s, the world got a lot smaller because of the internet. And because of that, there's so much knowledge that people can't get the knowledge from their head to their hands. They can't adjust the amount of knowledge, so they get lazy. And like, oh, why should I learn that? I'll just get my phone. I'll ask my phone. When I first started on the ambulance, we didn't have GPS. We had to look stuff up map books.
Oh man.
Yeah, and we didn't have. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. In fact, a lot of the EMTs that I trained, I had to train them on how to use a Thomas guide. And then you have somebody who, and you have somebody trying to go drive code 3, and driving, trying to, it was just hilarious. And then, when we used to run a call, my partner and I, we would talk about the calls. We would talk about what happened, what we could have done better. When we went in, what was going on with the house, what was this, what was that. We would talk about all that stuff. And then after 9/11, things changed. And then when the internet came out, things changed. Now people would I get brand new people out of school and I was best in my class and this and that, but they don't even know how to explain a blood pressure to a patient.
Yeah, exactly.
I think, and the hilarious thing. Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, no. I was just gonna say an understanding and things like that. I think that the access to information is incredible, and I think it's limitless, right? And the problem is that we have. I think genuinely people are more educated and smarter than the average person. I'm talking about the average person is smarter than we think that they are. It's just that they have the input of all this information is just slop, and it's driven by AI algorithms now. Specifically in the last 4 years, AI has a personal brainworm into your what works for you. And conspiracies are a way to easily understand the world and easily understand a complex thing. And there's a reason why they believe in so many conspiracies is because they're being fed these conspiracies of like, oh yeah, you think that this is real? Oh, guess what? You're going to love this. Oh, well, you're going to love this right here. And that's why it just chops it down. You one after another. And it's specifically the algorithms. I think social media. I mean, there is two main things that are causing this graph right here. Vaccine hesitancy. So this is the amount of Republicans that believe in germ theory, basically. Do you think that vaccines are more dangerous than the diseases that they're designed to prevent? So obviously, this correlates with two major events, right? Trump in 2016, where this starts to diverge. But then look at 2020 on. There's obviously the pandemic, okay? That is the real spur of this. But then you have AI driving these social media algorithms for the first time. You have botnets by Russia that are seeding this disinformation to our country and purposely making it easy and sexy and easily understood. And that's why you have such a huge jump from 5% to 31% of Republicans now not accepting germ theory.
This is the...
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt you, but it's one of these things that just what you just mentioned, I totally get it, understand it, and it's a big wave. It's a big wave coming and hits you. And the thing is that I don't think people understand. Let's break it down. We will agree that vaccines are helpful. And to me, it's like, okay, if someone were to ask that in the back of my rig, that, hey, is a vaccine worse than the disease? I'm like, how could it be? You're getting a small dose of it. A true vaccine is you're getting a small dose of it, and you're allowing your immune system to adapt and overcome it.
It's a training dummy.
And build, and you're building your immune system. That's the way it works. And I think the difference between smart, educated, and having a good memory, those are all three different things.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are educated and they can't speak. I mean, I have a brother who's, extremely intelligent. He's a clinical psychologist. He's a smart guy. And sometimes he has a problem with talking on the level like the guy on the street, but the guy on the street has a great memory. He can sit there with his phone and remember all kinds of stuff.
1,000 titles a day. They're scrolling constantly. Yeah,
he can regurgitate all this stuff quickly.
Exactly.
But if you ask the same people, okay, what's the most important thing in a car? What's the first thing you're going to say? The engine. Okay. Okay, the engine is important. So is the suspension. So is the radio. It depends on the person what they value the most.
Exactly.
But when it really comes down to it, the most important thing on a car is the size of your hand on 4 points. The contact point of the tires.
Yeah.
If you don't have good tires, you're not going to have good traction. If you don't have good traction, your engine isn't going to do much for you. The tires are going to split. If you don't have good tires, the suspension isn't going to work the way it's supposed to. Your whole ride, you're not going to hear your music the way. So it all comes down to the contact point. Basically, what I'm saying is that it comes down to our integrity.
Julianne,
what are we willing?
Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
what are we willing to sacrifice to overcome what's the most logical thing for us to be safe? And I'm, you know, if you really take care of yourself and your family and everything else, you want to have good tires. I know that sounds silly, but just trying to use,
Yeah.
you
No,
know,
it's true, man.
relative thinking type of thing. And that's how I would get across to some people. Like, well, I don't understand what my blood pressure is. I'm like, well, you ever think of a garden hose? You know,
Yeah.
you got a garden hose, you turn it on, right? Now the pressure's in the hose, right?
Exactly.
So when we squeeze the handle, the water comes out. That's just systolic.
Exactly.
That's the pressure. Your heart
there
should
you
push the
go.
water out,
I like
and you
that.
let it go, and then now you have there's no water coming out of the end. Now you just have pressure inside the hose. That's your diastolic. That's your working pressure. And now they're like, wow, now I get. So now
That's
they
a
can
great
relate to
analogy.
understand.
Yeah.
But this is where we need to get to. We need to get to that point to where we can explain
Yeah, dude.
to the person and say, this is what I'm trying to convey. And then once you get them on board, like, okay, now you have water inside the hose. What's actually in the water?
Yeah.
And now you break it down with, now their brain is like, okay, now I have water, I have a hose. And now they understand, you know, vasodilation, you know, vasoconstriction. What actually does that? Well, when it's cold, now you can break it all down. So now they can understand it. Now, I'm not saying that we're dumb for not being able to do that. It's just, I feel sometimes that we don't try hard enough. I'm probably wrong.
Yeah.
But
no, for sure, man. I think that you have to do that work. It's hard. What you're talking about is science communication versus, and that's a different thing than being a physician. You know, I totally think Julie got 3 vaccines, guys. So we're just gonna give her a quick vaccine party in 3, 2, 1. Yes, Julie, good job, legend. Yeah, I think analogies is such a big thing, man. It's like stories are such a way to connect with people, and analogies are a way to do that, and it really allows them to be put in a scenario where it's like, okay, you know, like something that I talk about a lot is like, people are like, I don't want to, I would never be okay with a vaccine ever, and you're like, okay, like imagine if you got bit with something with rabies, it's 100% death rate. Would you still get a vaccine? You know, so I actually had one person say no, by the way. Like they literally said no because they were like, I don't live in fear, man. I don't believe in that stuff. And I'm like, you don't believe that rabies exists? I was like, bro, there's sequencing. We know 100% that thing has rabies. There's no way you're gonna die. Would you take a vaccine then? It's like, nah. I'm like, wow. Well, that's like you don't value your own life then. That is actually you should see it.
Well, they just can't.
That's
yeah, they just can't see it though. They just can't see it. I mean, to be honest with you, I was working in retail before I actually got in a head-on collision, and it took me about 1.5 years to recover, coma, the whole shot.
Wow.
But that's the reason why I got into medicine, because I wanted to find out what happened to me. How did I actually survive this? What was the whole gig? And the more I learned, the more I realized how much I didn't know.
Yeah.
And that just kept going and going as I learned more and more about medicine. And the thing is, for me, is as I'm talking, just like if you can't put yourself in that position, not you yourself, I'm speaking about the collective.
Yeah.
If you can't put yourself in that position, you're not gonna understand.
Yeah.
It has to be that willingness to be vulnerable and say, okay, if I had rabies, what would it look like on me? What would happen? And that's the thing, is like, if you had rabies, what would it look like? How do you think it would look? If you were looking at yourself in the mirror, what would you look like if you had rabies? Well, I don't know. Well, let me tell you. And then you start painting the picture for them.
Yeah.
You know, your mouth would look like this. You would look like that. You wouldn't have any control over this. You would have, and you know, it all comes back to, this is the crazy thing, is the COVID, when people acted like, you know, let me just start from the beginning. What do you think SARS was? What do you think MERS was? Those are the original COVID strands, right? In 2001,
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, 2001. We had no idea what that was. It goes back like a flashback back in 82. We had no idea what AIDS were. All we knew was that people were dying, and fear was rampant. And then when we learned about it, what was going on, then blame started to take. Everyone wanted to blame somebody, wanted to blame this and that. But then once we really understood it, it was controlled. You know, SARS wasn't like that. It just killed people right out. And then MERS drug it all out. You know, they got sick. And then here we have COVID, which does either or. And because they didn't experience the first time or the second time, they figured this is a brand new thing. Well, if you were an EMS, you were there and you didn't know what was going on. You were just freaked out. And you're like, okay, turn all the vents on, you put a mask on. I don't know what's going on. You just go right to the safety buttons. And then when you try and explain this to somebody that this could be bad,
Yeah.
this could be the end of everything if we don't get this under control. And the slow reaction that our government had, I mean, there's conspiracy that we knew about this in a year prior in August and November, and we didn't act on it until the next year, until 19. Now that's all speculation. I have no proof, but
Yeah.
I am pretty confident that we knew about that before in 2000. That's why it's called COVID-19.
Well, yeah, the outbreak was in
that
December 2019, but it was just incompetence. I mean, Trump didn't deny that it existed for 3 months, 4 months, so that's why it was so effective once it got here. It was in complete community spread. So our suggested stay homes, which wasn't a lockdown by any measure, was ineffective at curtailing that. No, I missed the. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't. I just scrolled back too. I didn't see it. So if you could do that message again. I'm sorry. I didn't see Jessa's. Yeah, but
I just go ahead. I'm sorry.
But yeah, it's but thanks, man. There's 2 other people on the line, so I was just gonna let them in. But thank you. Thanks for talking. Thanks for being on the front lines, man. Working on the EMT and stuff. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you guys hanging there. It's a rough gig sometimes, especially when you're trying to say, look, it's blue, it's blue, it's blue, and they're like, no, it's purple. I'm like, okay. So good luck to you guys. Thank you very much. Thanks for letting me in.
Thanks,
Have
man.
a good one.
Yeah, of course. Anytime. Appreciate you. Have a good one. Oh, awesome. I got your flu shot today. WCS Dancer. Let's give it up for Dancer, guys. Dancer is 885 in 3, 2, 1. Yes. Big. All right. So quickly, we got Dorothy, then Rose, then Bullet. Sorry, Dorothy. I saw you queue up and then you had to leave, but you can still be okay. Bullet, I was gonna. Yeah. Sorry, Bullet. I don't do panels, so we just do like one-on-one conversations. So it's all good. Hi, Rose. How's it going?
Oh, it's going well. How are you?
Good.
I really enjoy listening to you.
Oh, thank you.
But one of the things that I always come back to when I listen to the deniers, the basic deniers of science of any kind, is that if we listen to them, we'll be back in the Dark Ages.
It's true.
And in the Dark Ages, during the medieval times, the church ruled everything. And so the church said, you must believe this over that. And they suppressed science of any kind.
Yep.
So that's what I feel like they're trying to do now.
Exactly.
And if I don't understand the desire to push us backwards like that.
Well, it's a control thing, right? So that where, I mean, a feudalism and like a king, the only person that's right in the land is the king or queen, right? In a monarch or a totalitarian dictatorship, yeah, they have to be. There is no independent way of understanding the world or acquiring knowledge or seeing how things work. It's all just through the king or whatever. So that's why science is taken back and the and stuff like that. So it's it's just they want to make sure that Trump is the only way of making knowledge and getting knowledge and having that knowledge is
Dear God.
Yeah. So it's just really crude and easy. It's just it's that easy.
Well, with flat earthers, the one thing that just makes them stutter and stammer and gives them a bit of a pause is to say, okay, so you're telling me that 500 years ago, whatever, a hoax started. They started this vast conspiracy to make us believe something You know, all those years ago when they determined that the earth was in fact round, it's like, what would be the purpose? I mean, a flat earth, the way they describe it, would be kind of magical, I think.
Yeah,
You know,
sure.
the way they want to, they purport it to be. I mean, that sounds kind of amazing, but it's not. So what would be the purpose to make us believe in a sphere over a plate?
Yeah.
And that's the one thing they really can't come up with. You know, is the why behind the hoax.
It's flat Earth and stuff. It's a foundational conspiracy. So like, if all the world's intelligentsia is on the same page to make viruses, to make up. Oh, thank you for the gift. Thank you. Are all in cahoots in order to make up viruses that viruses don't exist, or the shape of the world, then it's easier to go to something else. You know, that's why so many conspiratorial people believe so many different conspiracies. It's just one thing after another where they kind of get suckered in. You know, that's why, like, what's so frustrating for, like, the lab leak, for example. It's like there's no scientific evidence. And good night, Rapture. No scientific evidence to show that the SARS-CoV-2 leaked from the lab. Zero. Not a single shred of scientific evidence. But, you know, once you believe that SARS-CoV-2 is invented in the lab, then maybe all viruses are connected to the lab, or maybe they're all invented, or, you know, if all the pharmaceutical companies are all in cahoots in order to make vaccines, then, you know, maybe then all those companies are also making money off of the earth being flat. You know, it's or lying about the immune system. You know, that's the problem, is that it's a foundational belief, and people are pushed towards this way of thinking with AI algorithms, with these social media apps that aren't teaching you anything, but are trying to sell you the snake oil salesman way of understanding the world, which is like, would you rather listen to a debate, an hour-long debate about the first part of virology, or understanding about population genetics, or molecular biology, or qPCR, or, you know, all these different methods of epidemiology, or, you know, like just tireless lectures on that stuff? Or isn't it convenient that there's a virus lab in the same city? You know, like, wow, you know, that's a lot easier. So that's the problem, is that these social media companies profit off of these conspiracies in a way that they don't profit off of making people more intelligent. That's basically it.
That makes sense. So just a couple more quick questions, and I'm looking for the quick answer.
Sure.
Not, I mean, easily digestible for everybody.
Yeah.
What is your theory or your belief? What theory do you believe in about the origin of COVID?
Yeah. So we have, it came from bats, and then there was an outbreak event at the wet market. It looks like raccoon dogs was the one. So that was it came from that bats to a raccoon dog, there was actually 2 divergent strains there. But yeah, we know sequencing from bat coronavirus caves. We know the sequencing of the actual stalls there. We know the sequencing. There's actually 2 divergent strains at the same time. That wouldn't have happened with the lab leak. It would be impossible. So yeah, we know
it made the jump because it was opportunistic.
it acquired mutations while it was in bats, and then basically multiple viruses infected the same raccoon dog, and then they did a viral genome recombination, which gave them the ability to bind to ACE2, And ACE2 is the handle, the molecular handle that gets into our cells.
Well, I remember reading, I think it was Outbreak, where he was talking about the whole reason that Ebola became a thing is because it lived out in the middle of nowhere forever until we managed to get roads built that access that area, and suddenly it's So
So in the same way, basically China is urbanizing a lot of its areas, and that's tearing down a lot of these bat caves, which is causing a lot more migration, which is causing a lot more genome recombination, which is causing a lot more mutations, and they have a unique way of life, and the fact that like China actually has wild animals, guys, that are like bigger than like rats. You know, the biggest like macrofauna that I have in Southern California is like a coyote. You know, they actually have wild animals, and they have backyard breeders. So, and then there's wild animals that go and catch viruses from these backyard breeders and then spread it to other backyard breeders and stuff. So they actually have, and then on top of that, they have these wet markets that we don't have either. So the wet markets are ways that these people that have an outbreak within their home breeding program go and can spread it to other people. So it's like it's a confluence of events. It's China having a unique wet market, wild animal population, and home breeding programs. It's just, it all kind of comes together. And that is why, by the way, the Wuhan Institute of Virology is there, because science has predictive qualities, and we know from SARS-1 that it was predicted that because of these bat coronavirus caves that SARS-CoV-2 would be there, and it was. So it's not a surprise.
Well, and of course, I've never heard that China was really great about sanitation on any level. So, you know,
we were helping them, like especially with this lab. It was very good. You know, like they were funding it. Our that is one of the conspiracies that, and it shows that, oh my gosh, they're in cahoots with one another. But it's like, well, yeah, we should be, because the CDC needs to be in accordance with. These labs need to be in accordance with larger scientific rigor on how to make sure that this stuff doesn't happen. And in China,
well, I meant in terms of on the streets, people being aware of germs and hygiene, just in general. Maybe not in the urban areas, but certainly
sure.
in the rural areas. Yeah. And then my next question, just another quick one. What is a easy, succinct percentage, in your opinion, of negative side effects from the vaccines?
It's like about 1 in a million. So I mean, we're on the scale of like getting struck by lightning or dying.
So they're overblowing the cases that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the myocarditis rates and stuff that people cite for the SARS-CoV-2 vaccines. I mean, those are, if actual COVID, like SARS-CoV-2 is the virus, COVID-19 is the disease. If you have an actual viral infection of SARS-CoV-2, it's linked with myocarditis at a 580% higher rate than the vaccines. So if you're worried about heart health, the move is absolutely to get the vaccine. Thank you so much, Noble Sharon. Appreciate you. So it's and never anything else, like the amount of like the mass death, the dying event, and all that kind of stuff. That's nonsense. They're wrong. They're like, it's going to happen in 6 months, a year, or 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. There's 6 billion dosages that have happened. The actual immunological actual side effects happen on the first dose, and with people like 70-year-olds and above that already have like something. It's a very safe vaccine. It's actually, the COVID vaccine is actually, there's a new study that just came out. Thank you, Kathleen. That's linking it. The COVID booster actually is anti-cancer because it primes your immune system and revs it up to the point where that it actually attacks cancer cells, and people with cancer are living longer if they had been boosted with the COVID booster. So there's unique properties that are actually happening, and it's protecting you against long COVID too, which is long COVID is an immunological, a neurological disease that we don't have, any cure for, and it can have lifelong problems. So that's like vertigo, chronic fatigue, loss of hearing, taste, lots of stuff like that. So it's it happens a lot.
Well, I just remember, I'm old enough to remember when rubella, the rubella vaccine came out, and we were literally marched into a gym, lined up and given the vaccine. I can't see that happening now with anything.
Yeah.
Because people are just so terrified.
Yeah.
And, as soon as the vaccines became available here, I lined up and got my first one, and I've gotten all the boosters. I mean, I'd rather err on the side of caution. So
yeah, exactly. You always want to get flu and COVID every year, guys. And make sure if you're older and you don't have your vaccine card, get it tighter so that like what you are like protected against, and then fill it up. If you have some missing vaccinations, fill it up. The MMR kind of like dies off after 20 years. So that might be something to get. Check if you haven't gotten your MMR in 20, 30 years. That might be a good thing to do. So yeah, that's just stay protected. It's a good way.
Well, it was actually sort of funny because I never had chickenpox, and kept meaning to ask to get the vaccine because the last thing I want to get is an adult. So, but my primary care doc did a titer, and I was fine. I'd had chickenpox. I was just asymptomatic, apparently, because I never went through the disease. So, like, yay. So when I think that my MMR, well, it would have been would have been, I don't even want to say how many years ago, but long enough ago that I should get it boosted.
You just basically get a titer, and you just see if you need it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I really want to thank you for having me up and letting me ask questions.
Yeah, no problem.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, shingles is a great thing to get too. Yeah, even if you don't have.
Oh my God.
Yeah, to get
I got the first half. I haven't gotten the second because I'm terrified.
Nice. Yeah.
That was the most agonizing injection I've ever had.
Oh wow. Yeah, people. I mean, apparently shingles itself is even worse. So.
I know, but all right. Thank you so much.
Good work, Rose. Appreciate you. Bye. Have a good one.
Good night.
All right, we got sorry, Bullet, you're up next, dude, and you left, so I'm sorry, but okay, so Rigel's child, and then Colby. Oh, look at that. Nice pedals. Nice. Eva, let's go. What makes shingles vax more painful? I don't know. It's a good question. It's supposed to be really painful as a disease. Flu and Tdap vaccines. Let's go. Eva, guys. 887. You guys ready? In 3, 2, 1. Yes. You're awesome. Thank you for getting vaccinated. We love people who get vaccinated here. If you get vaccinated, we add you to the vaccine counters. And that's what we do here. We celebrate people who get vaccinated. We love you. We appreciate you for looking out for yourself, the people around you. Okay, user 139, you're just selfish. It's okay. You don't have to brag about it. Deb, I don't know. That's a good question. Can we add them to the board? 4 kids, 8 vaccines. Mrs. Dr. G. This is true. Rose, I didn't see yours. I'm sorry. If I didn't Guys, if I didn't shout your name out, I just missed your message. Just say it again. Just let me know. It is true. We got the kiddos. Rose, wait, did we? When did you get yours? Okay, 1 second, Raggles. 1 second. Okay, guys. We got 8 vaccines coming in 3, 2. Yeah, Mrs. Dr. G and me. Yeah. we got, oh, nice. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Nice, guys. Yes, vaccines. You're celebrating vaccines. Kathleen, you're going to get us to 899 in 3. Let's give it up for Kathleen. 3, 2, 1. Yes. Dude, they were so brave. Our kids were amazing. Dude, Miss Brenda, COVID, pneumonia, and flu. Guys, that's it. I think that's 902. Dude, Miss Brenda and Kim. Miss Brenda and Kim are going to bring us to 903. Let's go. Oh my gosh, guys. You know what that means? Wait. Let's bump this real 1 second. All right, guys. This is it. 900. 900. I don't see how many adjusted you got. This is it. 3, 2, 1. Yes. 903. 903. Let's go. 900. Let's go. We're gonna get to 1,000. We're gonna get to 1,000, aren't we? We're gonna do it. Ha ha. Take that. It's amazing. Let's go. All right, guys. Amazing. I can't believe it. Let's go. 903. 903, guys. Amazing work. You are amazing. We got 7 more. We got 7 more. Who was working? Who did that? Who are we celebrating, Jeb? Who is it? Who was it? All right, guys. 910. Who is it? Let's see. 7 more? My son and my grandpa. Let's go, Deb. You're amazing. Jesse and Shorty. All right, let's give it up for Jesse and Shorty. And Emily, 7 more. All right, guys. Good job. In 3, 2, 1. Nice. Nice, dude. You're amazing. Good job, guys. Oh, Emily is the 7th. Good job, Emily. Good job, dude. Amazing work. 910, guys. Incredible. I can't believe it. Dude, it's been so awesome. I appreciate you guys so much. All right, Rigels and then Colby. Thank you guys so much. It's so cool, man. Let's go, guys. Hi, Rigels. How's it going? Hi.
Good, thank you. The question I wanted to ask is, what impact do you think the regression in America is going to have on the international community, as far as vaccinations and health in general there?
I think it honestly, you might see a swing back. You know, I don't think that. I think it's kind of unique. There is like an anti-intellectualism fervor in the United States that is kind of unique to the American experience, because people conflate selfishness with liberty and freedom and patriotism, and they all kind of like work their way into this anti-intellectualism thing, like I have the freedom to not listen to you kind of thing.
We've got a big community of that now in Australia too. It's been kind of in the last 5 years since COVID, it's really ramped up.
Yeah, I mean the UK was bad too. You can basically see it in the deaths per capita for COVID. The UK was right along with the United States. We were ranked like 200th, and I think the UK was just like a little bit better than us. So it's very bad.
But more so for when people travel and they bring those diseases, kind of spread those diseases out into a community internationally.
Yeah, I mean, like immigrants, like it's in a weird way, immigrants are actually supposed to be, like, are actually have more vaccine requirements than like people living in the United States right now, because there's pretty strict requirements now. So it's kind of
No, sorry, I might not have been clear. I didn't mean in immigration, more in tourism.
Okay, yeah, that's an interesting point. Yeah. Yeah, I mean the idea, I guess, was that you have the herd immunity, that really impacts and prevents that from happening. But unfortunately, now we don't have herd immunity in a lot of states in the United States for measles, for example. So someone carrying measles would have like a disproportionately bad impact. So yeah, that is very unfortunate.
The other thing I like to think about is the biggest and oldest conspiracy in the world is religion itself.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I can see that for sure. Yeah, it is. I think that we did have religious people getting vaccinated, so I don't know, but I can see that power structure in their brain, can be usurped and taken over by a demagogue or another cult-like leader, and that makes it an easy access point.
And the last thing I want to bring up, I won't keep you too long. I think AI has a very big need for human beings to trust it. And when you start to scrutinize it, it gets very defensive.
Yeah.
And it begs you to trust it again. And when you refuse and say, you've lost my trust, it doesn't like it at all.
CNS. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, when it doesn't do the things that I want it to do, it's very frustrating to me. It definitely needs us to interact with it. So that's a really good point.
Yeah, and thank you for what you're doing, and hoping I can be a positive part of it from Australia.
Nice. No, I think it's so cool. Like, we have Ness right now. She's in London, and you're in Australia. It's just like, it's so cool. I mean, it is absolutely blows my mind. I'm just sitting in my room in San Diego, and this is such a cool. It's just so heartwarming to that science, and yeah, it's just this little community is growing, global. It's so cool.
Yeah, connecting the nodes using social media. I don't think they expected us to use it to teach each other. They thought we'd just gossip, and we're actually learning and educating each other, and they're not quite happy with that.
Yeah, at least with TikTok, this is a very odd, I think, to have a science stream on TikTok, but we're trying it, guys. We're making it work. So.
Well, I'm only new onto TikTok. I came from Twitter.
Okay.
And I've actually shared a link to, or information about the Catalyst Network and your work here to a person that I follow on that's very heavily into pushing for COVID being the threat that it is on Twitter. And I'm hoping the two of you connect in some way.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, that'd be very cool. Yeah,
So,
that would be
yep,
cool.
that's all.
Thank you, Regals. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Have a good one. All right, Colby and then Garrett. I know we just hit 15K, guys. It's so cool. I mean, it just blows my mind. It's so cool. Hi, Colby. How's it going?
Hi, great. How are you doing?
Good.
Okay, so I hope I'm able to articulate this well, but my partner and I are in the process of getting our 4-month-old vaccinated,
Oh, cool.
and he's gotten a
Congratulations.
couple. Thank you. He's gotten a couple shots already. The thing we are doing is we're only doing one at a time, so it's a lot more appointments,
Okay.
but I'm happy to do it that way. It's just our preference. But I do feel a lot of judgment from the pediatricians and the nurses. Whenever we go in, they want to do multiple shots, and we explain, listen, like, no judgment towards anybody and how they choose to vaccinate, but that's just not our way of going about it. We just want to do one at a time. And I don't know. I don't know how to feel or how to address it. Sometimes it makes me feel like a bad mom because I should be listening to them, but we just have this, I don't know, it's just a decision we've made for ourselves. And
Well, where does
I
that
guess
decision
I don't really
come
know what
from?
my question is, but
Where
I
does
want
that
some advice.
where does that need to or where did you learn that you needed to do this?
We really didn't. It's more that he can get fussy or he can get a bit of a fever when he gets a shot.
Yeah.
And I just don't want to overwhelm his little system with multiple at once. So for me and for us, it just feels easier to separate them.
Like what could I show you that would put you at ease so that you could just get multiple shots at a time? And actually it's probably better for quality of life for your kiddo, right? Because you just get them done at the same time. You don't have to constantly be going in and getting shots, because that's kind of like, it's not traumatic, but it's probably not the best thing that you guys could be doing about, you know what I mean? So like, is there anything that I could change your mind? What evidence would you need in order to change your mind on this?
That's a good question. If I'm being honest, I think it's a lot more, my partner has more concerns about vaccines than I do. I'm 100% for them, and he's a little hesitant. So this maybe has been our compromise, and I'm just justifying that in some way.
So the reason why they are slammed together so quickly is because your baby is very vulnerable right now. And by prolonging the time between shots, you're basically allowing more chances for your baby to get sick. And that's kind of why. And that's why the pediatrician and stuff, it's like they're not doing the best thing for the baby. And that's their patient, and they want the baby to be healthy and be protected. And it's kind of like, telling the mechanic, when you're working on your car, like, you should put in this part first, or this is the thing that I need you to do first. And it's like, well, wait, I thought you needed my help in order to be here at the mechanic. Why are you telling me what to do? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you wouldn't do this for anyone else. Like, you wouldn't go to the pilot when you're taking off on a plane and being like, you know what? Maybe we don't do this thing first. We do this other thing first. Maybe this checklist that you guys do, it's all backwards, and you should do it this first before this. It's like, well, we kind of have this system and we've tested it, and the reality is there is a ton of safety data to support the scheduling that the CDC does, that your pediatrician wants to do. What you're doing is actually more risky. That isn't. It's not. It hasn't been tested. So you guys are kind of going and making your own experiment out of your baby. Do you know what I mean? I think that you're doing it in the right way. You're looking out for your baby the best way that you know how. But what you're doing is already the best thing by getting them the shots and going to the pediatrician and trusting the pediatrician.
Okay, yeah, thank you. I think I really needed to hear that, honestly.
If your husband wants to come, you could DM me like on Discord. You don't have to talk to me on stream or anything. You know, if he just wants to talk or anything about has questions or anything like that, I can talk to him. I'm not a physician, so I'm a PhD in microbiology, but vaccines are the way that science impacts our lives, and I've researched this a lot. And you know, if I don't know something, I'll tell you. But that's how I understand it.
Okay, thank you. I want to reiterate, like, I am 100% for science and vaccines. Like I said, this is just, I don't know, when you have a child, it's equal
Is this your
between
first
the
kiddo?
two parents, and it can, lead to some interesting conversations and decisions. But I definitely want to do what's best for him. So
Is it your first one?
yes.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. I think I have 4 kiddos, and I totally understand it's amazing first kiddo mom energy is to really try to figure out what you can control and what you can make an impact on, because you don't know, there's so many variables, right? You don't know what to do. Right? You have no idea. Everyone says there's no instruction manual when you're having a kid, but the reality is, and this is 100% true, is every time you choose to get your kiddo vaccinated, that is 100% the right move every single time. So, so you're doing the right thing. And I think that
I'm also definitely not bringing him around any other children or people really at all until he's fully vaccinated. So
okay, yeah. I mean, I think I think that you could probably go to the park and be fine, and you know what I mean. You could still, but yeah, I think that's good. Letting him go to the park and all that kind of stuff. So
well, he's 4 months, so
yeah.
he doesn't really do much yet.
Yeah.
But
Going
yeah.
on walks. Yeah. Putting on walks.
Oh
Getting
yeah,
a stroller.
lots of
Letting him
walks.
do tummy time.
Absolutely.
Tummy time on the grass. Stuff like
Yeah,
that.
and some grounding.
Yeah. Just get him out there, and have fun with it. And don't. This is the stuff that you don't have to stress about. You can kind of like unload that. Like it's already been tested. This is one. Let's see. It is this one. So this is like the largest study to date. So they basically looked at 1.2 million kids over 25 years in Denmark, and they looked at this stuff, which is like the different levels of aluminum and all the different metals or the ingredients in the vaccines, and they wanted to see if it was causing any type of neurodivergence. So
I'm not worried about that.
Yeah, well,
I don't find.
We'll just to say, but they were looking at making sure that they were safe, that the vaccine schedule is safe. That's what they were checking, because like the CDC is an American organization, but throughout the world, people independently test and make sure that this is the right thing. So they tested it and independently verified that it's okay and it's good. So you even have, outside of the United States, you have people and researchers looking into the vaccine schedule as well. So
yeah, that's great. I screenshotted that so I can show that to my
good.
partner,
Nice.
and hopefully that'll make him feel more at ease too.
It's the biggest one. 1.2 million kids, 25 years.
That's great. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
I've needed, to figure out how I can share my clarity with him. And I think you've given me the push to do that. So thank you.
Cool. Awesome. Well, I appreciate that. If you ever have any other questions or my Discord's in my my link tree and stuff like that. Like the offer is open or you can DM me on TikTok or whatever if you want me to talk to your husband or whatever, or your partner, or so whatever. I'm open.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
No problem. Good job getting your kiddo vaccinated. That's a big one. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
All right.
Have
Bye.
a great night.
All right, Garrett. Well, sorry, Bullet was like trying to get in a couple other times, dude. So, Bullet first. Hi, Bullet. What's up?
So, if nothing, okay. If you cannot save people, what would you do?
If I cannot save people, what would I do?
Like let's say there's Ebola, an Ebola like outbreak.
If there was an Ebola outbreak, what would I do? I don't understand what your question is.
I mean, it's simple. So, if an Ebola outbreak breaks out, what will you do? You have billions of dollars. So, what do you do?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. That's a good question. I guess I would follow the CDC's and suggestion and see what it is.
But
Like
again,
quarantine.
CDC is like I can like we have like America is like some of this not adequate to like handle like even COVID-19, right?
I mean, the CDC still had a good recommendation. It was just that
But
the
like
CDC, the America didn't even follow like the CDC's guidelines. Then that's the big problem.
I do. I promise I do. So the fact that like when somebody tells you like, hey, that is not going okay, what would you do? As CDC right now and COVID-19 has failed.
Yeah.
So is that okay with you?
No, I think that we could do better for sure. I think that, but the problem is that like the CDC hasn't been guided by its own mandates before. I mean, we had like the gold star, how we were supposed to to handle it, and we didn't follow our own protocols. So
Let's take it basic, right? So when it comes to like produce, right? So CDC dictates the FDA that has to like call upon FDA. Do you think that like the FDA has a power over the FTC?
I think they're all separate. I think that the idea that they're all like conflated, and I really don't think so.
Okay. I digress.
Okay. Okay, man. Well, thanks for joining. I appreciate you. Have a good one. Okay. Oh, thank you, Colby. Thanks for saying that. Yeah, Mrs. Dr. G and I remember first time being a parent too. It's bad. But we joke like how like on number 4, it's just a lot different. Number 4, we were just getting them all in there, and we call her our feral child, and she chooses to live with us. It's wild. But man, our first kiddo, we were just so stressed. Oh yeah, on everything. It's totally normal, and it's good. Honestly, being nervous and being anxious as a new parent is good. That means that you care. That means that you actually want things to go well. You're invested into it, because your life has just changed, and you want things. And mom, let's be honest too. You're not sleeping as well, right? Because of baby, and you're going in that 4-hour loop of feed, play, sleep, feed, play, sleep. You're sleeping every 3 or 4 hours, not getting a full night's rest. So I think that like feeds into it too. So as dads, what we can do is support you, and however the way we can is removing stress from your life, right? Cleaning all the pump parts, getting your meals, cleaning the sheets, turning it like trash, all that kind of stuff. But we can try to improve and ease your stress as a new mom. That's like a big thing. Yeah, Garrett, you gotta chill sometimes, bro.
Dr. Greg.
What's up, dude?
Dr. Newman. It's been a while, bro. How you been?
It's a new, fresh account. You got banned, huh?
No, this is an old account.
Uh-huh.
Or it's the same account. I changed my name.
Oh, sure.
But everyone, I gotta say, man, I hope you're doing well, man.
Thank you, dude.
Everyone in here talking crap. I'm an OG. Dr. Greg will tell you I'm an OG, right?
It's true.
I ain't new here. They're telling me I'm new, but, do you want to know what really happened, Dr. Greg?
What happened, bro?
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. When Charlie Kirk died, man, I got really upset, and we had a Why are you laughing?
Okay.
Why are you laughing?
I'm serious.
Wait.
I'm totally serious.
Okay, but we had a conversation a few times. I talked about I support Charlie Kirk, and you told me that he was a terrible person, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so when he died, I'm not gonna lie. I saw you pop up on my live, and I unfollowed you because I didn't want to hear any. Well, I didn't want to hear any like bad things about him, right?
Yeah.
I didn't want to hear you talk crap about him. He just got shot in front of his kids, right? And so now
they weren't in the crowd.
Well, I heard they were in the crowd. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't think that's true, but it's okay. Go ahead.
Well, I gotta ask you a question. Do you
Sure.
think it was okay that he got killed?
Do I think it was what? I'm sorry.
Do you think it was okay that he got killed? Like, do you support?
No, dude, I don't think that. Like, I don't think like.
Well,
I mean, I think that there was a shooting at his event, and it's bad.
I'm kind of confused. You were laughing when I was talking about him.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like? I mean, you don't have to like the guy, but he got killed. Why are you laughing?
I mean, dude, I think like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm waiting.
You gotta.
Yeah.
He justified a lot of political violence in his life. So the idea that he was a victim of political violence,
Uh-huh.
it is a little ironic. One, but two, it's
Okay.
like he was stoking. He's stoking a lot and saying some really atrocious things to a lot of people.
I got you.
So the idea that this is the person that
Mm-hmm.
they have to, we have to do a flagpole, honorific on and all that kind of stuff. I mean, like, where was the flagpole remembrance for all the school shootings? You know what I mean?
No,
That's what's so sad. There was 2 people that died in Colorado on that same day, and like I didn't hear that like one like actual one news article about that, but that was it, man. Do you know their names?
That's very true. I don't know. Well, that's a whole nother thing, right? I think that's right. I think that we should, remember, and I think that should be a thing that, we remember every school shooting, but it doesn't happen, right? But you can't pick and choose when it happens, right?
Sure.
I think it should happen no matter what. Whether it's like Charlie Kirk died or a Democrat died, I think we should remember those kids that died in school shootings. But
But
it's
I don't.
just.
I mean, that's. I think that you're in the right spot, and genuinely, I think that you're trying to
Mhm.
be kind. But I think the best way, in order to honor those people, is to make sure that it doesn't happen again. And that's the thing is that like
Yeah, go on. I'm sorry.
it we have a huge. Thank you, Emma. We have an access to firearm problem in this country. It's just there's way too much access to it, man. Like it's just it is. I do think, unlike a lot of people, I do think that we do have a mental health crisis in that, like I was saying before, 2 callers ago. Like I think a lot of this AI thing is driving a lot of people to conspiratorial thinking, and they're the victims of kind of like a mass disinformation campaign coming from Russia and things like that, and so it's awful. So I
Well,
do think that we are the subject of a mental health crisis that's ongoing. But the thing is that other countries have those mental health crises, but they
mhm.
don't have the mass shootings that we have. So that's the question. Like, why is the United States uniquely that way? And we can tell
Yeah.
through science that access to firearms directly correlates with the amount of shootings in that state. So we
Well,
even have internal controls within the United States to know that it's access to firearms that are causing that problem.
well, and that's a good question, right?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we're the country with the most we're the most mass shootings, not school shootings, but mass shootings. And
Oh, for sure, we're the most school
why
shootings.
is that? But
Everything.
why
We're the
is
most
that?
everything shootings.
But why is that? Because we have guns, right? We have the right to guns. What countries also have shootings like that, right?
What country is it?
No, I'm just saying. I'm asking you, like none,
None.
right?
None. Yeah, none.
But what country has the same freedoms and rights as us?
Well, I don't. We don't have.
I'm sorry, I got a call. What? I'm sorry, I got a call. What was that?
Do you got to go, or are you okay?
No. It was like it was a spam or whatever.
Okay.
It said scam possible or whatever. But like Charlie Kirk said, right?
Uh-huh.
We have.
You cut out. You said, like Charlie Kirk said, we have, and then you cut out.
Oh, like guns.
Mhm.
Guns have to happen, right? We have
No.
to have the right to guns.
No, we don't.
And what do you mean? What country? What country's as free as us right now?
No, that's the thing, dude. Is that you're not.
No,
You're
no,
envisioning. No,
wait.
no, no. You're envisioning like how the United States used to be before Trump, and you're envisioning
Listen.
like a separation of powers and stuff like that. But guess what, dude? Trump has shown that the president of the United States gets to dictate which constitutional amendments we are going to abide by at any given time. So
How is that? How is that?
he has
Vague?
suspended the First Amendment, the Third Amendment, the Fifth
Oh
Amendment, the
my
12th
God.
Amendment, the 13th
How
Amendment.
has he done that?
He has.
How has he done that?
The greatest, the biggest one was the birthright citizenship case, where he is just with whole cloth has said that this constitutional amendment does not abide.
That is true. That is completely true.
Exactly. So you're agreeing with me. So now, and
I'm not agreeing.
Sotomayor even said that this in her dissent, she said what you're doing by making it so that no judicial court can rein in the president of the United States, you are creating a scenario where a president can walk in and say, I don't agree with the Second Amendment, and say it's a national security issue that the number one way kids are dying under 18 is firearms. So they could go in and regulate that overnight. And that this is what the world that you are saying is okay.
Okay, listen. So I'm not questioning the fact, but I just want to know. Like, I'm not saying it's not wrong, but is that true that the kids under 18 are dying by firearms the most? Number one.
Yeah, it really is.
Is that true? Okay, I was just wondering.
Yeah, it's awful.
So, but with that being said, the freest country in the world the most profitable country in the world, the most, acceptable country in the world is the United States, right?
It really matters how you define freedom.
Whoa. No. Answer the question. Yes or no. Is it or what is it?
It matters how you
Yes
define
or no.
freedom. Like, what do you mean by freedom?
Well, the freedom to do anything, the freedom to, assimilate, the freedom to, say what you want, freedom of religion. Is it the United States or no?
I mean, it's not.
What
dude.
is it then?
Like, let's
Okay,
say you're an
You said no, it's
Iowa
not. What
a
is the country
political
then?
pollster, and you put out a poll that says that the president of the United States is going to, or one of the people that's going to be running for president is down in your poll, and you are a pollster, and you put that out in the media. Like, do you think, like, in a free country, that person would be free of persecution if the person that you say is going to lose actually winds up winning? But that's not what happened this year. In 2024, the Iowa pollster that had Trump losing the state was sued directly by the president of the United States and put into thrown into a bunch of First Amendment, which basically suspended the First Amendment for that person, didn't they? You're tabbed out, so I can't hear you, but you can hear me. So I mean, that's the problem, man. Is that, like, if you're talking about freedom, like, how can you say that how could you say that the Chicago is free right now with troops coming down
This
it?
is what I want to talk about. Do you support the No Kings rallies?
Yeah, I went to them.
How is Trump a king?
I mean, I think it's cringe. I think it's cringe labeling, and I think that it's like a cringe thing to say. I agree with you there. But he wants to be a king, and in a weird way, a lot of the kings in Europe actually are held more accountable than Trump. He's not just a king. He wants to be an autocrat. But I think it's an awful messaging. Democrats are really bad at marketing, so I'm not surprised. But
yeah, see, that's what I don't understand. Trump's not a king. He doesn't want to be a king. He said he won't run, after, his term. So I don't understand,
what are you talking about? He said that he will run, and they're already
He
selling.
said that? Can you pull up proof that he said he wants to run after 2028?
Yeah. He said that he's done 2028 like hats, and like Bannon's saying that they have the traditional way of having it happen.
He trolled the Democrat leaders, right? He trolled them.
See, that's the thing, dude. See, he's not trolling.
Trolled them.
No, he's not trolling. Trolling. No. Let's be real. Trolling is something you say something that you don't believe in order to get a rise out of the person. What he's doing is he's fishing. He's fishing, and he's seeing how it lands when I say this, and the fact that everyone didn't recoil in horror, like the Republican Party too. It actually gave him the green light to run for in 2028. Because then he could just say, "Oh, I've been talking about it forever, and you guys didn't really care about it." And so I think it would be funny to go for it and do it again. And he will be. He will try.
You think he will try?
100%. Yeah, 100%.
No. Oh my God, no, dude.
Wait. So is that a red line for you then? Would you not support him in 2028 if he ran?
No, I would not support Trump. No, I abide to the Constitution. No.
Oh wait, what? Okay, cool. So you would, you would be anti-Trump.
That's a dictatorship.
Okay.
That is a dictatorship. And if you're gonna say Trump wants to run past his term, you're crazy. He made some hats, some Trump 2028 hats. Right. He's trolling Dr. Greg.
Okay.
He's not serious. Okay. Come on now.
Okay.
Even average Democrats will accept that he's not serious.
Okay.
He's just trolling,
Bro,
Jeffrey.
I'm begging to be wrong. I haven't been wrong for 10 years though about Trump, sadly. So I mean,
no, Dr. Greg,
I'm begging to be wrong. I would love to be wrong.
I don't know if you know him. I don't know if you know him, but do you know Harry Sisson?
Yeah.
He's some Democrat. I talked to him. He is more, available to talk to me and, engage in discussion than you.
What? Are you? No, he's not. He's like
You know, you guys talk about fascism. You are more of a fascist than Harry Sisson. I'm not gonna lie.
God.
You are more of a fascist than you will not let me talk. You will not let. You know, I was well. I mean, I don't know if they don't know this, but I was in your request, ready to talk for an hour, and you waited like an hour for me to talk. You know, and there's one person, and you kept saying,
No,
"Oh,
I
you're next,
I
you're next,
have
you're next,
a
you're
sticky
next."
note that I put the names of as people come in because I don't do panels, so I make sure that everyone has like
Just for
Michelle's up
future
and then
reference,
Survivor is up right
just
next.
for
So
future reference, I could request leave your live, not being there for 2 hours, and then I'll be next in line, right?
if it's like if they've been waiting for a long
Okay,
time and then they pop
that's what
out
I
and then come back
expected.
in because
Yep, that's
people can
right.
accidentally scroll away.
Okay, they accidentally scroll away.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, I got you.
I mean the TikTok live app, the TikTok app is kind of easy to scroll away. I can
I
understand
got
it.
you.
Yeah.
Greg, how do you feel about Palestine and Israel?
Thank Trump, dude. He's amazing. Wow, he's so good. He's
Thank
like
you.
he's just
Thank you.
you know,
He
give that guy a
he
Nobel
solved
Peace
it,
Prize. He's so good.
right?
He's so
Well, thank
good.
you. You see, we both support Trump. Thank you. Well, I don't know why you're laughing. He actually did solve that, you know?
No, he didn't, dude. No, he didn't.
How do you not do it?
He gave
He freed the
Netanyahu.
hostages. He freed the
No.
hostages and stopped.
No.
He created a ceasefire.
No,
Did he not? Okay,
no,
he
dude,
didn't.
he created a scenario where Netanyahu felt emboldened to go and do even more heinous stuff.
Like what? Like what?
I mean, specifically in the last 6 months has been when the heinous, where they've decreased the amount of aid stations from like 30 different spots to 4.
Well, so I'm not
and it's
talking
like
about
even
last 6
more
months.
heinous,
I'm
and that's
talking
when
about
all these
now.
people that were,
Okay.
the UN report even talks about the military engagements by the IDF to the Palestinians like shot up exponentially. It's like wild.
Okay. Well, so I was talking about like recently, like where he just created a ceasefire and, you know, created peace, you know. So
Okay.
did he not just, you know, release hostages from Hamas and create a ceasefire? Did he not?
I thought
wrong?
Jared I thought Jared Kushner had peace in the Middle East done in 2017. I don't understand.
No, it was just done recently.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, okay. I thought
Yeah.
Kushner had already done that.
No, it was done recently.
Oh, sorry. I get all mixed up. I get
So what's your
all
thing
these
with
things
Jared
that he
Kushner?
does. He's so good at them. I guess
are you one
I
of
guess
those-
I guess Trump is so good at solving
Uh-huh.
peace in the Middle East. He's done it twice.
And the first time being
Jared Kushner, dude. What are you talking about? You don't know the what's it? Oh my gosh. Chat, what
okay,
is it? What's the
you're one of
thing
those
that
guys
they
that,
signed?
oh, I get it. So you believe that Trump is under Israel control, right?
Hmm?
Do you believe that Trump is owned by Israel?
No, I
Are you one of those guys?
I don't do the Zionist occupied government stuff. I think that's all cringe.
Oh, I didn't ask that. I'm just saying. Do you think Trump abides by, you know, Netanyahu in Israel?
No, I think that
Okay.
Trump is an authoritarian and that he gives credence and leverage to Netanyahu to be more imperialist than he normally would, and he would be he's more heavy-handed because of Trump. Abraham Accords, thank you.
My bad. Okay. So, wow. Okay. So Israel being attacked by a terrorist organization is not that gives him the right to attack them?
I mean, Israel like had the chance to, and I think they should have gone after like Hamas's leadership after that, like absolutely, you know, but it wasn't like Hamas's leadership wasn't in every building that they razed to the ground like that. I think it was completely excessive, and yeah, it was unnecessary.
Okay. So I have to ask you this for my next questions. Do you condemn Hamas as a terrorist organization?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, that's good. So we agree then, you know, get Hamas out, destroy Hamas, and let Gaza live. Let the Palestinians have their own
but dude,
their own country.
They're not, but the Hamas leadership isn't in the Gaza Strip, dude. You realize that, right? They're like they live.
Well,
in
they
other
are
countries.
in there. They are in there. I know
No,
they're not there. Only in there. Yes, bro. You're saying that Hamas isn't in Palestine?
Hamas's leadership. Hamas's leadership isn't. They're not.
Okay, where are they at?
Hamas's
Where are they at?
leadership isn't living in Gaza, dude. They're living in
Okay,
in other
okay. I don't know that, but where are they
Qatar.
at?
Or is it
Tell me.
Qatar? And
Qatar?
yeah,
Okay, so so why are people so fantasized with Gaza? I don't understand.
that's a good question, bro. I mean, I think
That's a
that
very good question,
Netanyahu.
right?
I think
That's a very good
Netanyahu.
question.
Well, I think
Yep.
Netanyahu wants the Gaza
Yep.
Strip and
Uh-huh.
the settlers. I mean, the expansions.
Mhm.
The most amount of settler expansions that's ever happened has happened after October 7th. So, Netanyahu is using it as a
You know what happened on October
huge
7th,
power
right?
grab.
Over 1,000 Israelis were killed and 20
Mm-hmm.
plus communities were ethnically cleansed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, if Americans, any country, if 1,000 plus of their citizens were killed,
Mm-hmm.
ethnically cleansed, you would go to war with them, right? Would you not?
I
And
didn't.
let's not get past the fact that Hamas was in Gaza, they were in Palestine or Palestine, and they were hiding guns in school, they're hiding under hospitals, right?
Uh-huh.
I mean, what do you want them to do? I mean, they're using citizens as human shields. It's disgusting.
Man, I
This-
didn't
the
I
whole-
didn't
the
support
whole
the U.S.
problem-
war in
the
Afghanistan.
whole problem will
I
be
look
solved-
at man. Look,
Oh my gosh, the
I
whole problem will be solved if Hamas would stop using innocent civilians as hostages, or human shields, not hostages, shields. They're killing them.
So I think that Israel repeated a lot of the same problems that the United States did with Afghanistan after 9/11, and that, like, just because you're attacked from a terrorist organization doesn't mean that you get to have like a war with all the people, of that nation. So Afghanistan didn't go to war with the United States during 9/11, but they were attacked by Al-Qaeda that were in leadership in Afghanistan. So what I would do would be to maybe like look and attack the leadership of Al-Qaeda, right? Not go to war with the entire nation. And in the same way, I would have, if I was Israel, gone and attacked the leadership of Hamas, not go to war with the entire Gaza Strip. That's the problem, man.
Okay.
And that's the thing. They did do some targeted attacks, which were good, like for against the Hamas leadership, but laying waste to the entire place. And in the last 6 months, the purpose starvation of these people, you can only describe that as a genocide, which is just disgusting, man. It is awful.
Well, I gotta say, first of all, I condemn all killing of innocent women, children, and men that weren't involved. That's terrible. But I do think that's because of Hamas. Using them as human shields. But you're using American Afghanistan, right? Where did Americans bomb? Do you know where mostly?
Where did Americans bomb in Afghanistan?
Not big cities, outer cities, military bases, right? You know how small Palestine is, right?
Okay.
Hamas used all of the strip as their grounds. So what do you expect Israel to do? What do you expect them to do?
Yeah,
If they keep bombing their civilians, if they keep bombing Israeli civilians, attacking, the dome protects them, but attacking them, what do they expect them to do when they're hiding under hospitals, hiding under schools, hiding their shit in schools? They have to protect themselves, and they're going to attack them. And Israel, they let them know that they're bombing these places and to get out. So it's just
they do, but
it's
but still,
evil,
dude,
right?
I love the Hamas
I must say,
leadership. The Hamas leadership isn't in all of these buildings, bro. That's the thing, is that they don't need to destroy. So anyway, let's think about going forward, bro. Let's
I got you.
Let's stop rehashing the same thing. It's like a tired thing. Like what does Israel need to do going forward?
Israel going forward needs to stay out of occupied territory. because I know the whole problem is that they're trying to occupy, you know, parts of the Gaza Strip, wherever, Palestine. They need to stay out. Just no one attack Israel. I want peace. You know, I love everyone. I just want peace. I want them to get out of Gaza, whatever. I want them to get out. You know, stay in your own land. You know, it's like America going to Mexico. You know, it's not okay. Everyone stay in their own place. No wars. Keep these innocent people okay. That's all I want.
Do you think that you would support Palestine becoming a country, a sovereign nation?
Do I support Palestine become a country?
Yeah, like a sovereign nation.
That's fine. Yes,
Okay.
that is fine.
Okay.
It's just like, that's fine. I want, you know, Palestine can have their own country. It's whatever. I just don't want, you know, any wars. That's all I want. I just want peace, because innocent people are getting killed, you know, in Palestine, and innocent people in Israel are getting killed. I just want peace. That's all I want.
So would you support the destruction of the walls after the Second Intifada, which is the thing that they attacked during October 7th?
You want the destruction of walls? You want destruction of walls?
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, is that they managed they managed the Gaza Strip. That's the whole point. I mean, during the Second Intifada, there was 150 suicide bombings, you know, in 2 years. So that is what those walls were created for. That's why Israel checks and you know, everyone going in and out. That's what it's from.
Sorry. No, I think Israel has, you know, like any other country in the world, should have their borders. Like, what?
No, but you don't understand. But Israel is the one that manages all of the nutrients and water and electricity going in and out of Gaza. So like you were saying, if the Palestinian people have their own country, then they have to be sovereign. And in order to be sovereign, they have to be able to govern themselves. So they would have to have full control and autonomy over their own energy, food, water.
Well, actually, I see this. Why didn't everyone go after Egypt when they didn't let them in? Why didn't they let them in? I don't understand.
I mean, they have, like, Jordan is like 60% Palestinian.
Egypt was stricter about their laws, so I don't understand why everyone's after Egypt, not after Egypt.
But I mean, other countries have let them in. Like I said, Jordan's like 60% Palestinian.
Other countries? What about Egypt?
Well, I mean,
They said no to them. No one's against Egypt. I don't understand. So about that, you know, I think, and I'm not too sure about that, but is Israel the only one that, you know, will allow, like, controls that? Or,
well, they're the ones that have the border, that they have the wall that is, you know, corralling them in the Gaza Strip. That's the problem.
Well, I understand, like, on that side, but, like, on both sides, who are the countries? You know, the other sides, you know.
Man, I think, like, I mean, Israel's like surrounded by like 7 nations. It's like
I'm saying, like, Gaza Strip. Who's around them?
I mean, they're not going to be there. There's over 1 million people
I'm just
there.
asking
So
who's around them.
The southern,
like, who's around them other than Israel? You know.
But there's a lot of Arab states in that area, man, and they
well,
all,
I know there,
yeah. I mean,
know
the thing is,
yeah. But who's other than Israel? Who's around them? Who's boarding them?
Like I said, there's a lot. There's like 7 different Arab states, man, and they do give them aid. They do give them aid.
These guys in your comments are crazy. I'm trying to figure out the answer because I'm not too sure.
But, like, why should it? I mean, I don't think that it's up
Is it
to
Syria and Lebanon?
But again, it's not. It's not Syria. Egypt. Egypt is the one in the south, but Egypt isn't the one that is corralling them in and built that huge wall. That, like, well, it's like a security fence.
Well, what's the problem with Jews having, you know, Israel, and, you know, what's the problem with that? I don't understand.
I mean, I think that they should have a sovereign nation. I think that that's okay.
You don't think that Israel should exist? That's what you're saying?
No, I think that it's okay. They're a sovereign nation. I mean, I don't think that Like, I mean, any type of military takeover of Israel at this point would be imperialism. So I'm not an imperialist, so I wouldn't want to do that.
So you're fine with Israel, right?
I mean, at this point, it's a sovereign nation, man. I think that's just what it is.
Okay. Israel should keep doing what they're doing, then that's fine.
Well, no.
They
I
are.
mean, that's the whole point, is that like they can't like, if you
What?
even said
They
that
can't what?
Palestine should be its own country. So again, you can't have all your food resources and energy flowing through Israel if Palestine's going to be its own country. Do you know what a sovereign nation means?
The thing is, Palestine has tons of resources coming in, and Hamas won't let them in. Right?
No, I mean, Israel is the one that checkpoints a lot of it.
Well,
they don't allow a lot of it.
Yeah, most of it, but not all of it, right? Let's be honest, not all of it.
No, they intercept the stuff that's going over the flights.
Well,
all that kind of
yeah,
stuff.
like the what's her name? Fucking, I don't remember her name. What's her name? The little girl.
Greta, the
whatever
the
name,
boats,
or whatever. I don't even know.
Yeah, there's been a blockade for again. Since the second Intifada.
There's tons of videos. Wait, what?
The second Intifada is the late 90s.
Okay.
It's after the
okay, yeah. Well,
the Clinton Accords fried. They didn't work, and so
they brought lots of supplies,
Arafat
right?
didn't get the Palestine country.
Right.
So then there was a protest where they there's a mass protest.
Okay, so that's and this is just a opinion thing, right? So you think Israel's not letting supplies in? I think they are.
That's not an opinion thing. That's what happened. I mean, they were.
What do you wait on? What topic?
That's. What do you mean?
I'm sorry, I got
Clinton. So.
Clinton, keep going.
Clinton with Arafat in like 1999, not 2000. They were trying to give the Palestinians their own country.
Okay.
And it fell through. They couldn't agree, and that's what led to the second Intifada, which is
I didn't know
the suicide bombings,
and
which was that was the impetus for Israel to erupt the security gates, so that because in Israel's mind, they were like, these people are sending suicide bombers over. We need to stop them from happening. So then they set up a security fence and checkpoints for everyone coming in and out.
I got you. I didn't know what you're talking about. My bad. But so do you think supplies are getting into the Gaza or no?
Through Israel, yeah. Israel requires it.
So you agree that sufficient supplies are getting through to Gaza, right?
I don't think sufficient supplies are going through, man. And
they
antagonize them and make them go through a war zone so that they can actually, like, the military encounters with the civilians are so high right now. It's insane.
Where are they going through to go through a war zone?
I mean, there was a really good New York Times map of it. They had like 30 they had like 30 different aid stations all across the Gaza Strip so that people could get the aid that they needed, and then now it's like 3 or 4. So it's like they're in the military encounters because they're having to go through like a like a war zone.
When was that made, by the way?
So, what?
When was that made?
I saw like a couple months ago.
Okay. I gotta ask you a question. Do you condemn October 7th or no?
Yeah. I don't think
that was terrible, right?
Dude, I don't think that violence. Just, dude, I don't think that murder should be a political tool. Like that. Okay. I believe in democratic means. Okay, so I think that democracy and winning people over is better than any type of threatening people's lives.
That was my bad, because you did say you condemn Hamas, so and they did October 7th, so that was my bad. But it's just like I don't, it's just crossroads, because I believe that Israel is doing everything it can to help the Palestinian people. But
so to contend with that, if Israel's doing whatever they can to help the Palestinian people, in my mind, they should completely rebuild the Gaza Strip. Like every building, they need to be completely reconstructed for free, however they want, or the supplies, or I don't know, maybe paying for the supplies. I don't know. They have to absolutely remake this country, and not that crazy cringe AI shit that Trump wants. Give the Palestinian people control of how they want their place to be rebuilt.
Some Trump hating against. Okay, but I agree. I just want
because that's what I think is happening. By the way, that I do think that is what this is happening. They are absolutely.
Let's talk about the truth, right?
They bombed the place to the ground so that Israel and Trump have an impetus to go in and be like, hey, we'll rebuild it for you. We'll rebuild it for you. And then what's going to happen is that Israel and Trump is going to rebuild the Gaza Strip into what the casino on the banks and the river banks, and then they'll say, "Oh yeah, well we're going to let the Palestinian people be here. You guys could like rent here if you wanted to, or you could own homes. You just have to buy it." That's what they're trying to do. So then that way, they've basically ethnically cleansed these people off of their land, and then they're going to say like, "Oh well, I mean, you guys, I guess we're going to need to occupy it anyway. Well, Israel will manage it still. We are already managing it, so we'll already like kind of just take it over." And then it's just another step. This is what I'm talking about. Like Trump normalizes this authoritarian imperialist takeover of this land piece by piece, and pushes Bibi further and further into ethnically cleansing this land of these people.
How does he know that?
Exactly how I'm talking about. Because there is no country that is really capable of reining Israel in like the United States. That it is like we have a unique diplomatic relationship, that I do think that Bibi Netanyahu is susceptible to like power grabs and power pushes by the United States. So I think that's why Biden was good. Biden was good about saying, and he was saying like talking about the peace, the treaties and the ceasefires and stuff like that. And that's why Bibi Netanyahu hated it, and that's why he pushed back on it, and that's why he broke the ceasefires, because he didn't like it.
Okay, so do you support Bibi or no?
No,
like as of right now.
No. Dude, I think he's a war criminal.
Do you support Hamas?
What? No.
No, okay.
Bibi Netanyahu is a war criminal, dude. He should be tried in The Hague. Like, are you kidding me?
I can't. Well, I didn't hear you. What did you say?
I think Bibi Netanyahu is a war criminal that should be tried in The Hague, dude. Like, what do you mean?
Why is that?
Because of how he's treated these people. He's ethnically cleansed it and caused a genocide, dude.
How did he do that? What did he do?
Oh, bro, we've already gone through this. Okay, so there's two other people that have been waiting, bro.
Okay, I'm sorry. Are you talking about?
Thank you, Gary. I gotta go now, bro. But
you want to go?
Bro, I've given you 30 minutes, bro. I've given you 30 minutes. I can't repeat. This is the third time now that we've gone through the same thing. So
vote Trump 2028, guys. Trump the best. Yes, sir.
All right, love you,
These
Garrett.
Democrats they're crazy.
Sorry, guys. Garrett really has been here since I've like 100 followers. He was like on one of my first things. He trolls and he's not serious a lot of times, but like genuinely, we have had really good heart-to-hearts before, and he is that Gen Zer, guys. And if 60% of you are 55-year-old and up women, okay, we gotta have some Gen Z dudes who those are the guys that we are losing as Democrats. So Gen Z guys, he is our representative, okay. So he is he is the one Gen Z dude. Okay, Michelle and then Survivor. He is the reason why Trump won. Exactly, Matt. Gen Z guys, we have to reach out to those guys. Hi, Michelle. How's it going?
I was like, I beg your finest pardon, 55 and over?
That's
No.
That's a
But I
TikTok
was on
says.
the verge of crashing out there for a second because if you care about a subject, like crack open Wikipedia if you have to. Like just open a book. Like do a little bit of research about the history and
Yeah.
the political science, and it drives me bonkers. And the whole either do you support Hamas? Okay, then you're a terrorist or you're anti-Semitic. Like I'm literally like Anastasia Jew, like, and I don't like genocide. Doesn't
Yeah.
mean I'm anti-Semitic.
One of my old coworkers was Israeli, and she was a leftist, and so there's like probably, I think the last count was like 16 left in the world of those. That was like so it was amazing talking to her, and it's wild, like how, and she was telling me about like growing up in Israel and stuff, and just how hated like Bibi is, like growing up, and
Yes.
this move. I mean, they had in the mid 90s, they did have a liberal prime minister that was assassinated, and then after that, there was just a huge rightward swing nationally, and ever since, they've had this push nationally to the right as Bibi has stayed in power. So it's like he has solidified power and pushed them more nationalistic and been more imperialist, right? Because so he has these settlements that keep going. He's his treatment of the Palestinian people has been cruel and unusual. So it's
And I
bad all
like to
around.
find, well, I don't like to find, but like my autism superpower is patterns and also underlying reasons for things. And this administration is terrible with covering anything up. They are pretty out in the open about plans. Like we just found out that, there's been plans to rebuild Gaza for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
That
Exactly.
means that right after September 7th, which I'm a veteran,
Mm-hmm.
tactically, you learn very early on that Israel is top notch
Mm-hmm.
in their defense
Mm-hmm.
because they have enemies surrounding them, right?
Yeah.
That's the whole premise around us contributing money to their government every year. Had their defenses been up to par, September 7th wouldn't have happened. It is, in my honest opinion, like from what I know of the military, that it was allowed to happen in order to start this war, to take over the land in Gaza, to tear it all down, and to rebuild.
Mm-hmm.
And the sad fact is they don't care about human life. Our administration, their administration, many administrations worldwide care very little about the people and just about the profit that could
Yeah.
be made with whatever, opportunistic thing they have going on.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean,
But I had a
Kushner's
question
been
about
talking about
ATP.
that forever too. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
I did have a question about ATP.
Okay. Wow.
So that's a wide swing.
Okay.
I, since having heart failure, okay,
Uh-huh.
so my EF is at 13%. So we're not doing very well in that respect.
Okay.
Physical activity, it's like I try to explain to my doctor as like, I don't have the energy in the tank. Like
Okay.
I will physically want to will my body to go up the stairs or do this, but the energy just isn't there. I've had success with red light therapy in the past before my diagnosis. I was reading like some peer-reviewed articles and things I found on, Google Scholar and things because I thought it was hokey at first. But like I feel like the issue is with converting anything into actual physical energy in my body anymore due to the lack of oxygen, possibly. I'm not sure, but I was wondering if you had any suggestions on how to like mitigate some of the fatigue and things associated with what I'm going through, like on a smaller level, like
That's tough, man.
more
That's tough.
micro.
Did it get were the symptoms showing up the same time that you had like a COVID infection by chance?
Funny you should ask. I thought I had long COVID.
Yeah.
However, I went in for what I thought was an upper respiratory infection. Turns out that despite having taken an antiviral within 24 hours of onset of symptoms,
Okay, cool.
it still,
Kathleen, thank you.
it totally tore through my heart.
Oh no.
I have systolic congestive heart failure with EF of 13%.
Oh my gosh.
And when I was diagnosed, I was like like they didn't know whether to classify me as third or stage 3 or 4.
Wow.
Because I was in an acute episode at that time. Once we got control of like the edema and like the fluids that were being retained in my body because they're just not pumping adequately, I had a really great increase in energy and overall health. Now that I'm on medication consistently to control all of like my blood pressure, my heart,
Yeah.
cholesterol, all that stuff, I'm seeing significant changes.
Good.
But yeah, so I'm at a solid like class 3 right now.
Well, I'm not a physician, so I do not know roads forward, unfortunately. Man, that's tough. I'm so sorry. I don't know what to say.
It is what it is. I'm just trying to like maximize my like quality of life. My prognosis, like they gave me a year last March, but I think that I'm going to surpass that, obviously. But yeah, it was kind of jarring to find out at 44, like as a nurse was like heading out of the ER, like the little like where they have little like treatment rooms that are kind of just like curtains up in the back, and like she's like pushing a machine and she's like, oh yeah, you're being admitted for your heart failure. And I was like, what?
Wait, what? Oh my gosh.
So it wasn't even like I got what you expect from like TV and movies where you have like a solemn doctor sit down and be like, we've discovered X, Y, and Z and we're very sorry. It was just I looked at my boyfriend, I was like, he's like, yeah, she said heart failure.
I just went white noise for a little bit there. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry.
So yeah. But like I said, the energy portion of it is just the hardest thing for me. And the edema.
Dang, I would not know how to have you tried are you going out and walking like a lot? Like
I'm doing as much as I can. I have
Nice.
stairs in my house.
Okay.
So they're my nemesis, but also like I use them for exercise.
Do you have a dog?
But yeah, it's crazy going from like active. I was a classical dancer for 14 years, and then I joined the military, and I was always in sports, and then you get COVID, and then your whole life changes. And I was triple vaccinated at the time.
Wow. Dang. Yeah, I mean, because we like long COVID stuff is a lot of the chronic fatigue, and it'll infest organs. So, and there's like a lot of heart issues with with COVID in general.
My cardiologist said that he's never in his I think he said like 25 or 26 years of being a cardiologist has ever seen so many people in my age group that have come in with systolic heart failure due to COVID.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It's
so it was like the fact that I thought it was long COVID and being raised by boomer parents who were like, you're just being lazy. Like,
exactly.
I was just like, I just need to drink more coffee and I just need to motivate myself. And I could have gotten help a lot sooner. I was in nursing school also, so I knew the signs and symptoms.
Yeah.
I think I was just like, not me, no. Yeah. And then when I was in the hospital, it's like, yeah, okay, I get it. I should have known this whole time.
Yeah. I'm so sorry. Yeah. I wish I could say something or help.
Well, if you can come up with some magic potion or something, let me know.
Yeah. I was thinking about clinical trials. That would be.
I've been looking, like I put my name on some lists. I think I told you last time, the state of Nevada Medicaid does not offer heart transplants.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I have to wait till I'm on Medicare, which takes 2 years.
Okay.
2 years after approval for SSI or SSDI, which I was, but I still have a year and a half. So
Gotcha.
We'll see what they say or if I make it that long to even get put on a list. But that's a tough choice to make also because of all of the risks associated with it and immunosuppressants, and the surgery itself is very traumatic. So
yeah, exactly. Oh man.
And I don't know. I joke. I'm like, well, when I cross over to the other side, I'm going to take the orange guy with me. So
Oh man, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry you're going through it.
it's good. Life is good.
Okay.
Got to stay positive.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate the chat, because you guys never fail to make me laugh when I think I'm gonna go crazy and yell at some kid who's already being yelled at by his mom in the basement.
There's dozens of us.
Yeah. That's great. But all right. Okay. Well, you guys have a good night.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Stay positive.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Keep us updated too, please. Okay.
Sure.
Awesome.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye. All right. Survivor. I think it's the last one. Yeah, it's definitely not vaccine injury. If anything, it probably would have been worse with without the vaccine. Probably the vaccine protected her. It protected her heart, whatever she had. So, yeah. No, definitely not true. How can it be worse? She could be dead. That's how. Yeah, she could have died. So that's what it is. Would SVT be linked with COVID? I don't know what SVT is. The mRNA does not do that, dude. I mean, we're going off anyway, so it doesn't really matter. All right, guys. Well, I think we did it. Guys, get into the Discord. We are counter-organizing. This is a political action stream. We are counter-organizing against these anti-vaccine groups. We are calling people, join the Discord for political action, to get involved. Guys, these are the states that they are targeting with anti-vaccine bills. These are the state senators that we are calling, and we are stopping this rise in anti-vaccine. And it's not just anti-vaccine bills, guys. This is anti-public health bills, stopping people from having access to life-saving procedures like quarantines during an outbreak. How could anyone be against quarantining people that are sick from one another? It's insane. They're stopping gene therapies, drugs from being used. So anti-cancer gene therapy drugs that are being used, they're stopping that. They're stopping epidemiologists from doing contact tracing, seeing who is being sick and trying to stop them from contacting other non-vaccinated people to try to stop and stem the rise of these diseases. There's so many ways that public health is being attacked right now at the local level. Over 400 different bills, over 300 different anti-vax bills. Nobody else is trying to stop it but us. And we will. And we are doing it. Light is life. If they have a disease, then yeah, they should be wanting to vaccine. They should be wanting to quarantine. And what sick mind would you be willfully going and exposing other people to measles if you have measles? Like, in what world would that be okay? Are you out of your mind? That has nothing to do with that has nothing to do with vaccines or anything. Oh my gosh, like, that's insane. It has nothing to do with vaccines, guys. It has nothing to do with vaccines. You are literally spreading disease. That's not removing freedom. No, it's not. You're killing kids. that is insanity. You should seriously, yeah. That is wild. That is absolutely wild. Anti-cancer drugs. Light is life. That is what laws are. Welcome to what laws are. That is. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's literally what laws are. We have laws in order to stop people from doing lots of things. Guess what? Prisons. Do you think that people want to be in prison? That's impugning their freedom. Like, so you're against prisons? No, I'm giving. Oh my gosh, you're hopeless. You're against the idea of prisons, I'm assuming. Unless you are fully against the idea of prisons, then you are internally inconsistent. Vaccines are safe and effective, so that's what it is, and we're counter-organizing against you. So you can watch us. Okay, so Light is Life doesn't agree with prisons. So there you go. That makes sense. Yeah, it's insane. Power to the vaccinated. I love it. Yep. Okay, Light. Okay. It's crazy. I know. They're afraid. So many people are afraid. Yeah, you're a coward. You're a coward and you're hurting people. So, and you're a bad parent. So, there you go. No, it's okay, Steph. We don't block them. We allow them to be here because we turn them. Over time, we turn them. That's the reason. So, a lot of them I've never talked to a scientist before. They've never actually engaged in these arguments, and they just spew their hatred. And once they actually get pushback, oh, thank you, Marlis, thank you. It's they fall pretty easily. Chance got a vaccine? What? Oh. I'm sorry, I missed you. One second. I got my tetanus vaccine. Chance, you're awesome, dude. 9/11 for Chance, guys. Nice. Here we go. And 3, 2, 1. Nice. Oh, cool. You got your flu shot, Melly. Nice. Melly, that does count. Melly, guys. And 3, 2, 1. Melly. Good job. Melly. Thank you, guys. If you want to push back, guys, if you want to get Light is Life mad, don't at her in chat right now. Join the Discord. Look at the political action sheet that I've done. Look at the 5 people that we've outlined in New Hampshire. Call them. Call those people. And then when she's in chat next time, tell her, like, what have you done? What have you done for your little rosemary tincture business that she makes money off of selling supplements and medicines to people versus what you've done, trying to make a difference and trying to actually stop this nonsense from happening? That's how you get it. That's how you get back at people like Light is Life. By actually engaging it. So take your rage, be angry, that's okay, but channel it productively, join the Discord, get politically active. Your kids, your grandkids will thank you. All right? Oh, user 139. Yeah, we're not letting you cry bully me, bud. So I think people have coddled you too much. And you sit there and you try to cry bully, but in reality, you're a coward. All right. All right, guys. That's it. We did it. Another day. The launch of the Catalyst Network. Today, the launch of the biggest pro-science advocacy group in the United States. No other science advocacy group is online like we are. That's just true. It's the largest political action group for science in the United States. That's what we're doing right here. That's how this is happening. Yep. It's true. Nobody else is doing it but here, huh? It is true. So join the Discord, get involved. Let's do this. Get involved, let's do it. You got some calls to make and you got some emails to send. Let's go, that's your homework. Do this. Let's do this. Together. Email, phone bank, let's go. Call those people. Let's get New Hampshire on the right side of history. Let's go. All right, YouTube. Thank you. Thank you.